Welcome, dear friend, to Moon Mind Temple. What I'm about to share with you has helped thousands of people finally stop the endless anxiety loop in their minds and discover the profound peace that's been waiting inside them all along. Whether you're here because you can't sleep, because stress is consuming your days, or because you're simply exhausted from the constant mental chatter, you've found exactly what you need. In the next 3 hours, you're going to learn a practice so simple that a child could do it, yet so powerful that it can transform every single day of your life. You don't need any special equipment. You don't need to sit in any particular position, and you definitely don't need to empty your mind of all thoughts. What you're about to discover is far easier and far more effective than that. If it feels right for you, I'd love to invite you to connect with our global community of peace seekers. Perhaps you could share in the comments where in the world you're listening from and what time of day it is for you. There's something deeply comforting about knowing we're all breathing together across different continents and time zones, united in this shared longing for inner peace. Before we dive deep, let's create the most nurturing environment possible for your journey. Find the most comfortable position you can, maybe lying down with a soft pillow or curled up in your favorite chair with a warm blanket. Some people like to dim the lights or have a cup of herbal tea nearby. Whatever makes you feel most at ease is absolutely perfect. Here's what makes this different from every other relaxation technique you've tried. We're not going to fight against your busy mind or try to force it into some special state. Instead, you're going to learn something that animals in the wild know instinctively: how to surrender completely to the present moment and allow your body's natural healing wisdom to do what it was designed to do. Most of us have been running our entire lives without even realizing it. Running towards some future moment when we think we'll finally be happy, running away from uncomfortable feelings, running to keep up with endless demands. We run during our busy days, and here's something that might surprise you. We continue running, even in our sleep, even in our dreams. This constant inner motion has become so automatic that we've completely forgotten what it feels like to truly arrive anywhere. We've lost touch with the profound stillness that's always been available right here, right now. But what if everything you've been searching for is already here? What if the peace you're desperately seeking, the deep rest your soul craves, the sense of finally being home in your own life, what if it's all available in this very breath? There's an ancient practice that can become your refuge in any storm. It's built around a simple phrase that has guided countless people from anxiety to peace, from restlessness to profound rest. These words are, I have arrived, I am home, in the here, in the now. I am solid, I am free, in the ultimate, I dwell. Now I know those might sound like just beautiful words, but they're actually a doorway into a completely different way of experiencing your life. When you truly understand what it means to arrive, to be home in this moment, everything shifts. You can practice with these words, whether you're sitting quietly right now, or standing at your kitchen sink tomorrow morning, or walking through your neighborhood, or lying in bed tonight unable to sleep. This practice doesn't require a meditation cushion or a quiet room. It travels with you wherever you go, ready to offer you peace in any moment. Here's what makes this so powerful for anxiety and stress. Instead of trying to think your way out of worry, you're going to learn to come back to your body, to your breath, to the simple reality of being alive right now. Your mind might be racing about tomorrow's presentation or replaying yesterday's conversation, but your body is always here, always now, always ready to be your anchor. In Buddhist wisdom, we understand that your body and mind aren't separate things fighting against each other. They're more like dance partners who've forgotten how to move together. When your body learns to truly rest, your mind naturally begins to quiet. When your mind finds stillness, your body can finally release the tension it's been holding for months, maybe even years. Animals demonstrate this wisdom perfectly. When a wild animal is injured, it doesn't panic or try 10 different solutions. It simply finds a safe, quiet place and lies down, trusting completely in the body's ability to heal when given the right conditions. We humans once had this same instinctive knowledge, but we've become so disconnected from it. We've been taught that we always need to be doing something, fixing something, improving something. But today, you're going to remember what you've always known deep inside, that the most profound healing happens when we stop trying so hard and simply allow our natural wisdom to emerge. Over the next 3 hours together, we're going to explore this practice gently and completely. You'll discover how your breath can become a bridge to instant calm, how each step you take can be a homecoming, and how the simple act of paying loving attention to your body can unlock healing you didn't even know was possible. You don't need to believe anything special or have any spiritual background. This wisdom speaks directly to the universal human longing for peace, for rest, for finally feeling at home in your own skin. Whether you're dealing with anxiety, insomnia, chronic stress, or you're simply ready to experience life in a completely new way, you're in exactly the right place. So take a slow, deep breath with me now. Let your shoulders drop away from your ears. Allow your jaw to soften and your eyes to close, or simply gaze softly ahead. Feel yourself settling into this moment, exactly as you are. You don't need to be anywhere else or anyone else. You are so deeply welcome here. Let's begin this gentle journey home to yourself. Now, let's explore together the heart of this ancient practice, a sacred phrase that has the power to instantly bring you home to yourself. In Buddhist tradition, we call this a gatha, which simply means a short verse or poem that guides us into deeper awareness. But this particular gatha is special because it addresses the most fundamental human longing, the desire to finally feel at home in your own life. The words are simple, yet they contain infinite depth. I have arrived. I am home. In the here. In the now. I am solid. I am free. In the ultimate, I dwell. Let's breathe with each line and discover what it truly means to live these words. I have arrived. Feel the profound relief in these 3 simple words. For most of your life, you've probably felt like you were on your way somewhere, on your way to being happier, on your way to feeling more secure, on your way to having your life figured out. But this phrase invites you to stop that endless journey and recognize a stunning truth. You don't need to go anywhere else to find what you're seeking. When you say, I have arrived, you're not talking about reaching a destination on a map. You're talking about arriving in the most important place of all, the present moment. Right now, as you listen to these words, you can feel what it means to arrive. Your breath is here, your heartbeat is here, your awareness is here. You have already arrived in the only moment where life actually happens. Think about how different this is from your usual experience. Most of the time, even when your body is sitting still, your mind is racing toward tomorrow or replaying yesterday. You're physically present, but mentally absent, always leaning into the next moment instead of resting in this one. But when you practice, I have arrived, you're giving yourself permission to stop that exhausting mental travel and simply be where you are. I am home. These words touch something deep in every human heart. Home isn't just a building with walls and a roof. It's a feeling of safety, of belonging, of being completely accepted as you are. Many people spend their entire lives searching for this feeling of home in external things, in relationships, in achievements, in possessions, in places. But this gatha reveals that home is not a place you go to, it's a place you already are. When you rest in the present moment with full awareness, you discover that you've always been home. Your body is your first home, your breath is your constant companion, your awareness is your most intimate shelter. You don't need anyone else's permission to feel at home in your own life. You don't need to wait until your circumstances are perfect or until you've solved all your problems. You can come home right now, exactly as you are. In the here, in the now. This phrase points to the most revolutionary truth in all of spiritual teaching. Life is not happening in your memories of yesterday or in your plans for tomorrow. Life is happening here, now, in this breath, in this heartbeat, in this moment of awareness. But we've been trained to live everywhere, except the here and now. We live in our regrets about the past, in our worries about the future, in our fantasies about how things should be different. Meanwhile, the actual gift of being alive, this moment, passes by unnoticed. When you practice dwelling in the here and now, you're not just practicing a meditation technique. You're reclaiming your birthright to be fully alive. In the here and now, your senses come alive. You can actually taste your food instead of eating mindlessly. You can feel the warmth of sunlight on your skin instead of being lost in thought. You can hear the birds singing outside your window instead of being deafened by mental noise. I am solid. I am free. Here we encounter one of the most beautiful paradoxes in Buddhist wisdom. You are solid, grounded, stable, unshakable in your presence. Yet you are also free, not trapped by your worries, not imprisoned by your past, not limited by your fears about the future. This solidity doesn't come from rigidity or hardness. It comes from being deeply rooted in the present moment, like a tree with strong roots that can bend with the wind without breaking. When you know how to return to your breath, to your body, to the simple fact of being alive right now, you develop an unshakable confidence. You know that no matter what storms may come, you have a place of refuge that no one can take away from you. And this solidity gives birth to true freedom. When you're not constantly running from discomfort or chasing after pleasure, when you're not desperately trying to control every aspect of your life, you discover a vast spaciousness within yourself. You're free to feel your emotions without being controlled by them. You're free to have thoughts without being enslaved by them. You're free to engage with life fully, while holding it all lightly. In the ultimate, I dwell. This final line points to the deepest truth of all. The ultimate reality is not some distant heaven or future enlightenment. The ultimate reality is here, now, in this very moment of awareness. When you dwell in the ultimate, you're resting in the part of yourself that has never been hurt, that has never been broken, that remains whole and complete, no matter what you've been through. This isn't a concept to understand intellectually. It's a reality to be lived and experienced. Now, the beautiful thing about this gatha is that it's not just for formal meditation. You can practice with these words in 4 basic positions of daily life: sitting, standing, walking, and lying down. This means that any moment can become a moment of coming home to yourself. When you sit down, whether it's in your favorite chair, at your desk, or on a park bench, you can use this moment of sitting as an opportunity to arrive. Feel your body settling into the seat, your feet on the ground, your spine naturally upright. I have arrived. I am home. Instead of immediately reaching for your phone or jumping into the next task, you can take a moment to simply be present with the act of sitting. When you stand up from bed in the morning, from your work chair, from the dinner table, this transition can become a moment of mindful arrival. Feel your feet on the floor, your body rising into vertical space, the gentle strength in your legs and spine. I have arrived. I am home. Standing becomes not just a change of position, but a chance to reconnect with your body and your presence. Walking offers perhaps the most natural way to practice this gatha. Each step can be a homecoming. Whether you're walking across your kitchen, through your neighborhood, or down a busy street, your feet touching the ground can remind you, I have arrived. I am home. Walking meditation isn't about walking in some special way. It's about bringing awareness to the miracle of walking that you do thousands of times each day. And lying down, this might be the most important time to practice, especially if you struggle with restless sleep or an overactive mind at bedtime. When you lie down to rest, instead of immediately getting caught up in the day's worries or tomorrow's plans, you can use this gatha as a bridge to peaceful rest. I have arrived. I am home. Your body sinking into the bed, your breath naturally slowing, your muscles releasing the day's tension. You don't need to run anymore, even in your dreams. This practice addresses something that affects almost everyone in our modern world. The habit of running has become so deeply ingrained that we run even in our sleep. Many people report having dreams where they're rushing, chasing, or trying to escape something. This is because the nervous system has become so accustomed to a state of constant motion that it doesn't know how to rest even during sleep. But when you practice, I have arrived, I am home, as you settle into bed, you're retraining your nervous system to recognize rest as safe. You're giving your body and mind permission to stop the endless running and simply be at peace. Many people find that this simple practice transforms not only the quality of their sleep, but also the content of their dreams. The power of this gatha lies in its ability to interrupt the unconscious patterns that keep us feeling disconnected and restless. Most of us have been running for so long that we don't even remember what we're running toward or away from. It's just become an automatic way of being. But every time you pause and practice, I have arrived, I am home, you're creating a small gap in that automatic pattern. You're saying to your nervous system, it's safe to stop, it's safe to rest, it's safe to be here. And gradually, with gentle repetition, this new pattern of presence begins to replace the old pattern of running. In Buddhist understanding, this practice of stopping is called samatha, which literally means calm abiding. It's the foundation of all wisdom and healing. Without the ability to stop, to rest, to be present, we remain caught in endless cycles of reactivity and struggle. But stopping doesn't mean becoming passive or disconnected from life. True stopping is actually the most engaged way of living possible. When you're fully present, you can respond to life from wisdom rather than react from old patterns. When you're at home in yourself, you can offer genuine presence to others. When you've arrived in your own life, you can help others find their way home too. This gatha also addresses a fundamental misunderstanding about happiness and fulfillment. Most of us believe that we need to achieve something, acquire something, or become someone different in order to be truly content. But I have arrived, I am home, reveals that what you're seeking is not somewhere else. It's right here, right now. You don't need to wait until you've lost weight, found the perfect relationship, gotten the promotion, or solved all your problems to feel at home in your life. You can feel that sense of arrival and belonging right now, exactly as you are, with whatever circumstances you're facing. This doesn't mean you become complacent or stop growing and changing. It means you discover that the deep contentment you're seeking is your natural state when you stop disturbing it with constant mental and emotional agitation. From this place of fundamental okayness, you can still engage fully with life, pursue your goals, and work for positive change, but you're no longer driven by the desperate feeling that something is missing. As you begin to live with this gatha, you might notice that it affects not just your internal experience, but also your relationships with others. When you're truly at home in yourself, you stop looking to other people to make you feel complete or happy. This paradoxically makes you much more available for genuine connection and love. When you've arrived in your own presence, you can be truly present with others. When you're at home in yourself, you can offer others a sense of welcome and belonging. When you're solid and free, you can provide a steady, peaceful presence that helps others feel safe to be themselves. So as we continue on this journey together, I invite you to experiment with this gatha in your daily life. You don't need to practice it perfectly or remember it every moment. Simply begin to notice the moments when you feel like you're running mentally, emotionally, or physically, and gently return to these words: I have arrived. I am home. Let this practice be like dropping an anchor in the vast ocean of consciousness. No matter how stormy the surface waters may become, you always have this place of refuge to return to. In the here, in the now, solid and free, dwelling in the ultimate reality of this precious moment. Now we're going to explore how this sacred practice can transform the most ordinary moments of your day into gateways of profound peace. The beautiful thing about Buddhist wisdom is that it doesn't require you to retreat from life or sit on a meditation cushion for hours. Instead, it shows you how to find the sacred in the simple, everyday movements of being human. Throughout your day, your body naturally moves through 4 basic positions: sitting, standing, walking, and lying down. Most of the time, these transitions happen automatically, without any awareness or intention. You sit down while thinking about work, you stand up while planning dinner, you walk while replaying conversations, you lie down while worrying about tomorrow. But what if each of these ordinary moments could become an opportunity to come home to yourself? What if every transition in your body could be a reminder to return to presence, to peace, to the simple joy of being alive? This is the gift of the 4 positions practice. It turns your entire day into a meditation, your whole life into a homecoming. You don't need to find extra time or create special conditions. You simply bring conscious awareness to what you're already doing. Let's begin with sitting, something you probably do dozens of times each day. Right now, as you listen to these words, notice how your body feels in whatever position you've chosen. Feel the weight of your body settling into the chair, the couch, or wherever you're resting. This simple act of noticing is already the beginning of coming home. When you practice mindful sitting, you're not trying to sit in any special way or achieve some particular state. You're simply allowing yourself to fully arrive in the experience of sitting. Feel your body's natural wisdom as it finds its balance and support. Notice how your spine naturally wants to be upright without being rigid, how your shoulders can rest without collapsing. As you settle into sitting, you can silently offer yourself these words: I have arrived. I am home. Feel what it means to truly arrive in this moment of sitting. You're not sitting in order to get somewhere else or to accomplish some goal. You're sitting simply to be fully present with the miracle of being alive and aware. This might sound almost too simple, but notice what happens when you bring this quality of presence to sitting. The restless energy that usually drives you from one activity to the next begins to settle. The mental chatter that typically fills every moment starts to quiet. You discover that sitting can be deeply nourishing rather than just a brief pause between tasks. Many people tell me they don't have time for meditation, but you're already sitting throughout your day. When you sit down for meals, instead of eating while scrolling your phone or planning your schedule, you can practice arriving. When you sit at your desk, instead of immediately diving into work, you can take 30 seconds to simply be present with sitting. When you sit in your car, you can use those moments before starting the engine to come home to yourself. Each time you practice mindful sitting, you're training your nervous system to recognize that it's safe to rest, safe to be still, safe to simply be. This is profound medicine for our culture of constant motion and endless productivity. Standing offers another beautiful opportunity to practice presence. Think about how many times each day you stand up from sitting. Usually, this happens so automatically that you barely notice it. But when you bring awareness to standing, this simple movement becomes a moment of awakening. Feel the strength in your legs as they lift your body from sitting to standing. Notice the miracle of balance as your body finds its center of gravity. Feel your feet connecting with the ground, your spine extending upward, your head balanced on top like a beautiful flower. When you stand mindfully, you can say to yourself, I have arrived. I am home. Standing becomes not just a transition to the next activity, but a moment of celebration. You're celebrating the incredible intelligence of your body, the gift of mobility, the simple wonder of being upright in space. Throughout your day, you stand up countless times, from bed in the morning, from your work chair, from the dinner table, from the couch in the evening. Each of these moments can become a small ceremony of return to presence. Instead of immediately rushing into movement, you can pause for just a moment to appreciate the gift of standing. Standing meditation can be particularly powerful when you're feeling overwhelmed or scattered. When life feels like it's spinning out of control, simply standing still with full awareness can restore your sense of centeredness. You remember that you are solid, you are stable, you are here. Many people find standing practice especially helpful during difficult conversations or challenging situations. When you feel your emotions getting activated, when stress begins to take over, you can connect with the simple fact of standing. This grounds you in your body and helps you respond from wisdom rather than react from old patterns. Walking meditation might be the most accessible form of mindfulness practice because walking is something you do naturally throughout every day. The beauty of walking meditation is that it doesn't require any special space or additional time. Whether you're walking across your kitchen, through a parking lot, or down a forest path, each step can be a homecoming. When you practice mindful walking, you're not trying to get somewhere quickly or efficiently. You're walking simply to experience the wonder of walking. Feel your feet as they lift, move through space, and make contact with the ground again. Notice how your body naturally coordinates this complex movement without any conscious effort from you. With each step, you can silently repeat, "I have arrived, I am home." Your left foot touches the earth, "I have arrived." Your right foot follows, "I am home." Walking becomes a continuous practice of returning to the present moment. This transforms your relationship with movement completely. Instead of walking being just a way to get from point A to point B, walking becomes a meditation in motion. Instead of your mind racing ahead to your destination while your body travels behind, your mind and body move together in harmony. You can practice walking meditation whether you're moving slowly and deliberately, or even when you need to walk at a normal pace through your daily life. The key is not the speed, but the quality of attention you bring to the simple act of walking. Even a few mindful steps can shift your entire state of being. Many people discover that walking meditation helps them process emotions and thoughts naturally. When you're dealing with difficult feelings or complex problems, walking mindfully often allows insights and clarity to emerge organically. The rhythmic movement seems to unlock the natural wisdom of both body and mind. For those dealing with anxiety or restless energy, walking meditation can be more accessible than sitting practice. Your body gets to move, which satisfies the nervous system's need for motion, while your mind gets to rest in the simplicity of walking. It's a perfect bridge between doing and being. Lying down practice might be the most healing of all four positions, especially for those who struggle with sleep or carry chronic tension in their bodies. When you lie down mindfully, you're giving your body permission to completely let go and receive the earth's support. Most of us have lost the art of truly resting. Even when our bodies are lying down, our minds continue racing, our muscles remain tense, our nervous systems stay activated. But mindful lying down can retrain your entire system to recognize rest as safe and healing. When you lie down, whether for sleep, for a brief rest, or for formal relaxation practice, begin by feeling your body's weight surrendering to gravity. Notice how the earth supports you completely without any effort from you. Allow your muscles to soften, your breathing to deepen, your mind to settle like leaves falling gently to the ground. As you settle into lying down, you can offer yourself these healing words. I have arrived. I am home. Feel the profound relief of finally stopping, of finally resting, of finally allowing yourself to simply be held by the earth. You don't need to solve any problems or plan anything. you can simply rest in the ultimate refuge of this present moment. This practice is especially powerful at bedtime. Instead of lying down while your mind immediately starts reviewing the day or worrying about tomorrow, you can use these moments to transition consciously into rest. I have arrived. I am home. Your day is complete. Your body is safe. Your mind can rest. Many people find that practicing mindful lying down transforms not only the quality of their sleep, but also the content of their dreams. When you go to sleep with this sense of having arrived, of being home, your unconscious mind receives the message that it's safe to truly rest and restore. You can also practice lying down meditation during the day as a way to recharge and reset. Even 10 minutes of conscious lying down can be more restorative than an hour of unconscious rest. Your body receives the deep healing that comes from complete surrender, while your mind experiences the peace that emerges from stopping all effortful activity. The profound gift of the 4 positions practice is that it shows you how to live meditatively without withdrawing from life. You're not escaping into some special spiritual realm. You're bringing spiritual awareness into the most basic activities of human existence. As you begin to practice with these 4 positions, you might notice that the transitions between them become as meaningful as the positions themselves. Moving from sitting to standing, from standing to walking, from walking to lying down, each transition can be an opportunity to wake up, to arrive more fully, to come home to yourself. This practice also reveals something beautiful about the nature of stillness and movement. In sitting and lying down, you discover the healing power of physical stillness. In standing and walking, you learn that presence and awareness can move with you. You begin to understand that true peace is not dependent on being motionless. It's about being present, whether you're still or in motion. Over time, practicing with these 4 positions creates a foundation of mindfulness that supports everything else in your life. When you know how to sit with presence, you can be fully present in conversations. When you know how to stand with awareness, you can face challenges with stability. When you know how to walk mindfully, you can move through your day with grace. When you know how to lie down consciously, you can rest deeply and restore completely. Remember, this practice doesn't require perfection or constant vigilance. You're simply beginning to notice the moments when you sit, stand, walk, and lie down, and occasionally offering yourself the gift of conscious presence during these natural activities. Some days you'll remember often, some days hardly at all. Both are perfectly fine. The invitation is simply to begin right where you are, with whatever position your body is in right now. Feel yourself arriving in this moment, in this position, in this breath. I have arrived. I am home. Let these 4 positions become your teachers, your companions, your gateways to the peace that is always available when you remember to stop and truly arrive. Now let's explore together something that affects nearly every person in our modern world, the deep, unconscious habit of always running. This isn't about physical running, though that can be part of it. This is about the constant inner motion that keeps us perpetually on the way to somewhere else, always seeking the next moment, the next experience, the next solution to our restlessness. Most of us don't even realize we're running because this habit has become so natural, so automatic, that it feels like the normal way to be alive. We run during our busy days, rushing from task to task, from worry to worry, from desire to desire. But what might surprise you is that we often continue running even when we sleep, even in our dreams. Have you ever noticed that your dreams are often filled with movement, with chasing, with trying to get somewhere or escape from something? Have you ever woken up feeling like you've been working all night, like you never truly rested? This is because the habit of running has become so deeply embedded in our nervous system that even when our body is still, our mind continues its restless motion. In Buddhist understanding, we call this habit energy, the momentum of patterns that have been repeated so many times, they now run automatically, without our conscious participation. These patterns shape how we think, feel, and react to life, often in ways that keep us trapped in cycles of suffering and dissatisfaction. The habit of running is one of the most pervasive forms of habit energy in our culture. It shows up as the inability to sit still without reaching for your phone, the compulsion to always be doing something productive, the feeling that you're falling behind if you're not constantly moving towards some goal. It manifests as mental restlessness, emotional reactivity, and the persistent sense that life is happening somewhere else, in some other moment. But here's what's both challenging and hopeful about habit energy. It didn't originate with you, and it doesn't have to end with you. This pattern of constant motion, of never feeling quite at home in the present moment, has likely been passed down through generations. Think about your parents for a moment. Did they know how to truly rest, how to be completely present? Or were they always busy, always working, always worried about something? And their parents before them, were they able to find peace in simplicity? Or were they driven by the pressures of survival, by the fear that stopping meant falling behind? This isn't about blaming previous generations. They did the best they could with the understanding and circumstances they had. But recognizing the inherited nature of our restlessness can actually be quite liberating. It helps us understand that this constant running isn't a personal failing or a sign that something is wrong with us. It's a learned pattern that can be unlearned. In many families, several generations of people may have lived their entire lives in a state of constant motion, never learning the art of true stopping, true presence. The great-grandparents who fled war or poverty, the grandparents who worked multiple jobs to build a better life, the parents who sacrificed rest for achievement, each generation passing down the message that safety lies in constant movement, in always being one step ahead of potential disaster. But now you have an opportunity that perhaps your ancestors never had. you have access to ancient wisdom traditions that understand the healing power of stopping. You live in circumstances that, for many of us, allow for the possibility of rest without immediate physical danger. You can break the chain of inherited restlessness and discover what it means to truly arrive in your own life. When you learn to stop, you're not just healing yourself. In Buddhist understanding, you're also offering healing to all your ancestors who carried this pattern before you. The peace you cultivate ripples backward through the generations, honoring their struggles by finding the rest they were never able to find. And perhaps even more importantly, you're ensuring that this pattern of constant running doesn't automatically get passed down to future generations. When you learn to be at peace in the present moment, you model a different way of being for your children, your students, your community. You show them that it's possible to be alive without being driven, to be engaged without being anxious, to care without being overwhelmed. But breaking free from the habit of running requires more than just understanding it intellectually. It requires what Buddhist teaching calls strong will and big desire. Not the kind of aggressive willpower that tries to force change, but the gentle, persistent intention to choose presence over restlessness again and again. This strong will isn't about fighting against your running mind. It's about falling in love with the present moment so deeply that you naturally want to stop and receive its gifts. It's about developing such appreciation for the simple miracle of being alive that the constant search for something better begins to feel unnecessary. The big desire is not a desire for more things, more experiences, more achievements. It's a desire for the profound contentment that comes from finally feeling at home in your own life. It's the longing to stop the exhausting inner motion and rest in the vast spaciousness of simply being. Cultivating this strong will and big desire often begins with recognizing the cost of constant running. What is this habit of perpetual motion costing you? Perhaps it's costing you the ability to truly taste your food, to really see the people you love, to feel the warmth of sunlight on your skin. Maybe it's costing you sleep, peace of mind, or the simple joy of being alive. Many people discover that the habit of running is actually an attempt to escape from uncomfortable feelings or thoughts. We keep ourselves busy, keep our minds occupied, keep moving toward the next thing, because stopping feels frightening. We're afraid that if we really stop, we'll have to feel our sadness, our loneliness, our grief, our fear. But here's what practitioners discover over and over again: the feelings we're running from are not as overwhelming as we imagine them to be. When we finally stop and turn toward our inner experience with kindness, we find that emotions are like weather patterns. They arise, they change, they pass away. And underneath all the emotional weather, there's a vast, peaceful sky of awareness that can hold it all. The habit of running also keeps us from discovering our own natural wisdom. When we're constantly in motion, constantly reacting, constantly seeking the next solution outside ourselves, we never develop the capacity to listen to our own inner knowing. But when we learn to stop, to be still, to create space around our experiences, we begin to access a source of guidance that's been with us all along. This inner wisdom doesn't speak in the loud, urgent voice of our running mind. It speaks in the quiet voice of intuition, in the gentle promptings of the heart, in the subtle knowing that emerges when we create enough stillness to actually listen. Learning to stop is learning to hear this voice and trust its guidance. For many people, the first attempts to stop the habit of running can feel almost impossible. You sit down to rest, and immediately your mind fills with everything you should be doing instead. You try to be present with your breath, and your thoughts race toward tomorrow's schedule. You attempt to enjoy a quiet moment, and anxiety arises about time being wasted. This resistance is completely normal and expected. Remember, you're working with habit energy that may have been building momentum for years, decades, even generations. It's not going to transform overnight, and that's perfectly okay. The practice is not about achieving some special state where you never feel restless or never have racing thoughts. The practice is about developing a different relationship with the running energy when it arises. Instead of automatically following every impulse to move, to do, to seek, you begin to pause and ask, what would it feel like to stay here, to be present with this moment, exactly as it is? Sometimes the answer will be that staying present feels uncomfortable, and that's valuable information. You're not trying to eliminate discomfort. You're learning to be present with it without immediately running away. This builds what we might call your presence muscle, your capacity to remain aware and responsive rather than reactive and scattered. One of the most powerful ways to work with the habit of running is to begin noticing it without judgment. Throughout your day, you can develop the gentle practice of simply observing, I'm running again. Not as a criticism, but as a moment of awakening, a chance to choose differently. Maybe you notice you're eating lunch while mentally rehearsing an afternoon conversation. The moment you recognize this, you have the opportunity to return to the actual experience of eating, the taste, the texture, the nourishment. Maybe you catch yourself walking from room to room while your mind races ahead to evening plans. This awareness gives you the chance to slow down and feel your feet on the floor, to appreciate the simple miracle of walking. Each time you notice the running and choose to stop, you're weakening the old pattern and strengthening a new one. You're training your nervous system to recognize that stopping is safe, that presence is possible, that you don't have to be constantly in motion to be okay. The beautiful thing about this practice is that it works with your life exactly as it is. You don't need to change your circumstances or solve all your problems before you can begin to stop the habit of running. You can start right now, in whatever situation you're facing, with whatever challenges you're navigating. Whether you're dealing with work, stress, relationship difficulties, health concerns, or financial worries, the practice remains the same. Notice the running, pause when possible, and return to the simple reality of this moment. Your breath is here, your body is here, your awareness is here. Everything else is either memory or imagination. Over time, as you continue to practice stopping, you begin to discover something wonderful. The present moment is actually quite manageable. It's our thoughts about the past and future that create most of our suffering. This moment right now is usually okay. You're breathing, you're aware, you're alive. That's actually quite miraculous when you really think about it. This doesn't mean you become passive or stop caring about important things in your life. Learning to stop the habit of running actually makes you more effective, not less. When you're not constantly scattered and reactive, you can respond to situations with greater clarity and wisdom. When you're grounded in the present moment, you have access to your full intelligence and creativity. Many people find that as they break free from the habit of running, their relationships improve significantly. When you're truly present with others, they feel seen and valued in a way that's becoming increasingly rare in our distracted world. When you're not mentally rushing toward the next conversation or activity, you can offer the gift of your complete attention. The healing power of stopping also extends to your physical body. Chronic running, this constant state of mental and emotional motion, keeps your nervous system in a state of low-level stress activation. Learning to truly stop allows your body to shift into rest and repair mode, where real healing can occur. Remember, every moment you choose presence over running is a victory worth celebrating. You're not just changing a personal habit, you're participating in the healing of the collective human pattern of restlessness and dissatisfaction. You're contributing to a world where peace is possible, where presence is valued, where people can finally feel at home in their own lives. As we continue this journey together, I invite you to be patient and compassionate with yourself as you work with this ancient habit. Some days you'll remember to stop often, and some days the running will feel overwhelming. Both are part of the process. The path to freedom is not about perfection. It's about gradually, gently, persistently choosing presence over restlessness, peace over perpetual motion. Trust that every moment of stopping, no matter how brief, is medicine for your heart and healing for the world. Now we come to the heart of this ancient practice, something that has been treasured in Buddhist tradition for over 2,000 years. The word is samatha, and while it might sound exotic, it points to something beautifully simple that every human being can understand and practice. Samatha means stopping, and it may be the most important skill you never learned in school. In our culture, we're taught to value doing, achieving, moving, progressing. We learn to read and write, to calculate and analyze, to plan and execute. But very few of us are ever taught the profound art of stopping, not just pausing our activity, but truly stopping the endless motion that happens inside our minds and hearts. This isn't a luxury, or an optional spiritual practice. In Buddhist understanding, without stopping, you cannot do much of anything meaningful or healing in your life. Without the capacity to stop, you remain trapped in patterns of reactivity, always responding to life from old conditioning rather than from fresh awareness. But what does it really mean to stop? Most of us think we're stopping when we sit down and watch television, or when we lie in bed scrolling our phones. But true stopping involves both your body and your mind coming to rest together. You might be sitting perfectly still on the outside, but inside, your mind is racing through tomorrow's schedule, replaying today's conversations, planning next week's activities. Your body is present, but your mind is scattered across time and space. This is not stopping. This is just physical stillness with mental agitation. Or you might be lying down, trying to rest, but there's a restless energy coursing through your body. Your muscles are tense. Your nervous system is activated. Your body wants to move even though you're trying to be still. Your mind might be quiet, but your body hasn't learned how to truly let go. True stopping happens when both your body and mind arrive in the same place at the same time, right here, right now. This is why samatha practice always includes the body. You don't just meditate with your mind, you meditate with your whole being. In Buddhist wisdom, we understand that your body and mind are not separate things that happen to live in the same space. They are intimately connected, constantly influencing each other in ways both subtle and profound. Your body contains your mind, and your mind contains your body. They inter-are, which means they exist together in such a way that one cannot be without the other. This understanding changes everything about how you approach the practice of stopping. When you help your body to stop, to release tension, to settle into stillness, to trust in rest, you naturally help your mind to stop as well. When you help your mind to stop, to release its constant planning and worrying and analyzing, your body can finally let go and rest. This is why so many people find that when they begin to practice conscious relaxation of the body, their mental chatter naturally begins to quiet. And why others discover that when they learn to observe their thoughts without getting caught up in them, their physical tension starts to melt away. Body and mind are partners in both agitation and peace. The practice of samatha recognizes that most of us have developed what we might call stopping resistance. Your body has forgotten how to truly rest because it's been in a state of subtle tension for so long. Your mind has forgotten how to be still because it's been trained to constantly process information, solve problems, and stay vigilant for potential threats. But here's the beautiful thing about samatha practice. You're not trying to force your body and mind into some unnatural state. You're simply remembering what they already know how to do. Every night when you fall into deep sleep, your body and mind naturally stop their restless activity. Samatha practice is learning to access this natural capacity for stillness while you're awake and aware. The first meaning of samatha is simply stopping, But as you practice, you discover that stopping opens the door to something even more profound. When you truly stop, you create space. Space around your thoughts, space around your emotions, space around your reactions to life. And in that space, wisdom can emerge. This brings us to one of the most important teachings in all of Buddhist practice. Samatha and vipassana are like the two wings of a bird. Samatha is the practice of stopping, of calming, of creating peaceful stillness. Vipassana is the practice of looking deeply, of insight, of seeing clearly into the nature of reality. Just as a bird cannot fly with only one wing, you cannot experience true freedom and healing with only stopping or only insight. You need both. Samatha without vipassana can become a kind of peaceful escape from life, a temporary relief that doesn't lead to lasting transformation. Vipassana without samatha can become intellectual understanding that lacks the stability and peace needed for real healing. But when samatha and vipassana work together, something magical happens. The stopping practice creates the calm, stable awareness needed for deep insight to arise. And the insights that emerge give you the understanding and motivation needed to truly stop the patterns that cause suffering. Here's one of the most profound insights that can arise through this practice. Everything you've been searching for is already here. The peace you're seeking, the wholeness you long for, the sense of being truly okay, it's not something you need to achieve or acquire. It's your natural state when you stop disturbing it with constant mental and emotional agitation. In Buddhist understanding, you are already what you want to become. You don't need to become more spiritual, more peaceful, more enlightened. You need to stop covering up the peace and wisdom that are already your essential nature. This insight is revolutionary because it completely changes your relationship to spiritual practice. Instead of striving to get somewhere else or become someone different, you're learning to rest in what you already are. Instead of seeking happiness in external achievements or experiences, you're discovering the happiness that emerges naturally when you stop chasing after it. When this insight really penetrates your understanding, the compulsive need to run begins to dissolve. Why would you keep searching if you truly understood that what you're seeking is right here? Why would you keep running if you realized you're already home? But this isn't just a nice philosophical idea. It's something you can experience directly through the practice of samatha. When you learn to truly stop, even for a few moments, you get a taste of the peace and completeness that are always available beneath the surface of your busy mind. The practice begins very simply. You don't need to sit in any special posture or create any particular conditions. You can begin right now, wherever you are, by simply becoming aware of your breathing. Your breath is the perfect teacher for samatha practice because it's always available, always present, always happening right now. You can't breathe in the past or the future. You can only breathe in this moment. When you rest your attention on your breathing, you're automatically arriving in the present moment. But the key is to breathe with awareness, not to control or change your breathing. Simply observe the natural rhythm of your breath, the way it flows in and flows out without any effort from you. Feel the gentle expansion of your chest and belly as you inhale, the soft release as you exhale. As you practice breathing with awareness, you might notice that your mind wants to wander off into thoughts about other things. This is completely natural and expected. The practice is not about having a mind empty of thoughts. It's about gently returning your attention to your breath each time you notice it has wandered. Each time you notice your mind has drifted and you bring it back to your breathing, you're practicing samatha. You're training your capacity to stop the automatic following of thoughts and return to present moment awareness. This is like strengthening a muscle. The more you practice, the easier it becomes. The purpose of samatha practice is healing. Not just healing from illness or injury, though it can certainly support physical healing, but healing from the deeper wounds of feeling disconnected, restless, and never quite at home in your own life. If you don't know how to stop running, mentally, emotionally, physically, true healing cannot take place. Healing requires stillness, rest, and the space for your natural wisdom to emerge. It requires trust in your body's innate capacity to restore itself when given the right conditions. When you breathe in with the quality of stopping, your in-breath becomes medicine. You're not breathing in to fight against anything or to achieve some special state. You're breathing in with the intention to arrive, to be present, to come home to yourself. This kind of breathing releases tension naturally. When your breath carries the energy of stopping rather than the energy of striving, your nervous system begins to shift from stress mode into rest mode. Your muscles soften, your heart rate slows, your mind becomes more spacious and calm. In Buddhist teaching, there's a specific practice where you silently say, breathing in, I relax my body, and breathing out, I smile to my body. This isn't just a relaxation technique, it's a practice of loving kindness toward yourself. You're offering your body the gift of conscious attention and care. You can only truly relax your body when you stop. As long as you're mentally running toward the next moment or the next goal, your body will hold the tension of that constant motion. But when your in-breath carries the energy of arrival, of stopping, of being present, relaxation happens naturally. This practice becomes deeply enjoyable when you discover that stopping is not about deprivation or limitation. True stopping is incredibly pleasurable because it allows you to finally rest in the natural ease of being alive. Your in-breath becomes a source of joy rather than just a biological function. You don't need to have faith in any particular religious belief to practice samatha. You just need to have faith in your own breathing, in your own capacity to be present, in your own natural wisdom. These are things you can verify for yourself through direct experience. As you develop confidence in this practice, you begin to trust that every moment offers an opportunity for healing. Every breath can be a moment of stopping, of returning home to yourself. Every step can be taken with the quality of presence that makes healing possible. The beautiful thing about samatha is that it doesn't require you to withdraw from life or spend hours in formal meditation. You can practice stopping while washing dishes, while walking to your car, while waiting in line at the store. Any moment can become a moment of samatha when you remember to breathe with awareness and arrive fully in the present. Over time, this practice creates a foundation of inner stability that supports everything else in your life. When challenges arise, you have a place of refuge to return to. When emotions become overwhelming, you know how to create space around them through conscious breathing and gentle stopping. When your mind becomes scattered, you have the tools to gather your awareness and return to center. Remember, samatha is both a practice and a natural capacity. You're not learning something foreign or trying to become someone different. You're simply remembering what you already know deep inside: how to stop, how to rest, how to be at peace in your own life. The path of samatha is the path of coming home to yourself, one conscious breath at a time. Each moment of stopping is a victory. Each breath of awareness is a celebration. Each experience of presence is a gift you give not only to yourself, but to everyone whose life you touch. Within you right now lives an intelligence so profound, so sophisticated, that it makes the most advanced medical technology look primitive by comparison. This is your body's natural healing wisdom, a capacity that has been refined through millions of years of evolution and is available to you every moment of every day. Yet most of us have become so disconnected from this inner intelligence that we've forgotten it even exists. Let me share with you something that happens countless times each day, yet we barely notice it because it seems so ordinary. Imagine you're preparing dinner, cutting vegetables with a sharp knife. For just a moment, your attention wanders and the blade slices into your finger. You see the blood, you feel the sting, but something remarkable happens next. You don't panic. Despite the fact that your skin has been broken and blood is flowing, some deeper part of you remains completely calm. Why don't you fall into despair, thinking your finger will never heal? Why don't you rush frantically from doctor to doctor, demanding immediate solutions? Because somewhere in your body's wisdom, you know with absolute certainty that healing will happen. You clean the wound, perhaps apply a bandage, and then you trust. You trust that in a few hours, the bleeding will stop. You trust that in a few days, new skin will begin to form. You trust that in a week or two, you'll barely be able to see where the cut was. This trust is not based on hope or positive thinking. It's based on a deep, cellular knowing that your body contains within it everything needed for healing. You don't have to consciously direct the process. You don't have to think about sending white blood cells to the area or remind your body to create new tissue. The healing happens automatically, intelligently, perfectly, without any intervention from your thinking mind. This same healing intelligence that mends your finger is available for every aspect of your being, physical, emotional, and spiritual. But there's one essential condition that must be present for this healing to occur. You must allow your body and mind to stop, to rest, to create the space where natural healing can unfold. Animals in the wild understand this instinctively. When a wild animal is injured, it doesn't consult multiple specialists or research the latest treatment options. It simply finds a quiet, safe place and lies down. It stops all unnecessary activity, stops thinking about finding food or protecting territory, and devotes all its energy to the healing process. The injured animal practices what we might call the most sophisticated form of medicine, complete trust in the body's natural healing capacity, combined with absolute rest. It doesn't worry about falling behind in its daily activities or missing important opportunities. It simply lies still, breathes naturally, and allows healing to happen. We humans once had this same instinctive wisdom. Our ancestors knew how to listen to their bodies, how to rest when rest was needed, how to trust in the natural processes of healing and restoration. But somewhere in our journey toward modern civilization, we lost this essential knowledge. Instead of trusting our body's wisdom, we've learned to panic at the first sign of distress. Instead of creating conditions for natural healing, we immediately reach for external solutions. Instead of resting and allowing our inner intelligence to work, we fill our lives with busyness and our bodies with interventions. This doesn't mean that modern medicine doesn't have its place. It absolutely does. But it does mean that we've forgotten the most fundamental healing practice of all, creating the conditions where our natural healing wisdom can emerge and do its work. Resting is the foundation of all healing. Not just resting your body, but resting your entire being, your mind, your emotions, your nervous system. When you truly rest, you give your body permission to shift from survival mode into healing mode. You stop expending energy on unnecessary mental activity and allow that energy to be redirected toward restoration and renewal. But here's what many of us have discovered: we've forgotten how to rest. Even when our bodies are lying down, our minds continue racing. Even when we're not physically active, our nervous systems remain activated by worry, planning, and endless mental commentary. We think we're resting, but we're actually just being still while our inner systems continue working overtime. True rest involves what Buddhist teaching calls total relaxation, a practice where you consciously invite every part of your being to let go and receive support. This is not a luxury or an indulgence. This is essential medicine for anyone living in our fast-paced, stress-filled world. The practice begins with recognizing your body as a whole, complete organism. Most of the time, we relate to our body as a collection of separate parts: the head that thinks, the heart that beats, the stomach that digests. But in healing practice, you begin by acknowledging your body as an integrated, intelligent system. As you settle into a comfortable position, sitting or lying down, you can begin with this simple awareness. Breathing in, I am aware of my body. This is like saying good morning to an old friend you haven't seen in a while. You're coming home to your body, acknowledging its presence, recognizing it as the miraculous gift it truly is. For many of us, this simple act of paying attention to our body is revolutionary. We spend so much time living in our heads, focused on thoughts and plans and worries, that we barely notice the physical reality of being alive. We treat our body like a vehicle that's supposed to transport us through life, without any maintenance or appreciation. But when you bring conscious awareness to your body, something beautiful begins to happen. The simple act of loving attention is itself a form of healing. You're offering your body something it rarely receives in our busy world, your complete, undivided presence. As you breathe in awareness of your body, you can breathe out with appreciation. Breathing out, I smile to my body. This smile is not just a facial expression, it's an expression of gratitude, of tenderness, of recognition for all your body does for you every day. Your body works tirelessly to keep you alive and healthy, often without any acknowledgement or thanks from you. From this foundation of gentle awareness and appreciation, you can begin what might be called a loving scan of your body. Like a farmer who goes to his storehouse and carefully examines each type of seed, recognizing the unique qualities of kidney beans, mung beans, and corn, you can use the light of mindfulness to visit each part of your body with loving attention. Starting from the top of your head, you can slowly move your awareness down through your body, offering each part the gift of conscious recognition. Breathing in, I am aware of my eyes. Breathing out, I smile to my eyes. When did you last thank your eyes for the gift of sight, for bringing you the beauty of sunlight and flowers, and the faces of people you love? Your eyes work constantly to gather information about your environment, to help you navigate safely through the world, to allow you to read these words and see the beauty around you. They deserve your gratitude and care. They deserve a moment of loving attention. Breathing in, I am aware of my brain. Breathing out, I smile to my brain. This remarkable organ coordinates millions of functions every second, processing information, storing memories, coordinating movement, regulating breathing and heartbeat. Your brain never rests, never takes a vacation, never asks for recognition. It simply serves you faithfully day and night, maintaining the miracle of consciousness. Breathing in, I am aware of my heart. Breathing out, I smile to my heart. Perhaps this is the most important stop on your journey through your body. Your heart has been beating steadily since before you were born, pumping blood to nourish every cell in your body. While you sleep each night, your heart continues its faithful work. While you're busy with daily activities, your heart maintains the rhythm of life within you. How many years has it been since you really paid attention to your heart, since you placed your hand on your chest and felt grateful for its constant, life-giving service. Yet many of us have not been very kind to our hearts. We stress them with worry and anxiety, challenge them with poor food choices, exhaust them with overwork and insufficient rest. We often only pay attention to our heart when something goes wrong, when we feel chest pain or irregular rhythms. But in this practice of loving awareness, you have the opportunity to return to your heart as a friend, with appreciation and care. Hello, dear heart. I'm sorry I've been neglecting you. I'm here with you now, and I want to take better care of you. This is not just relaxation. This is a meditation on love, a practice of coming home to yourself with tenderness. When you reach your liver in this gentle scan, you might pause here with special attention. Your liver works incredibly hard to filter toxins from your system, to process nutrients, to maintain your body's chemical balance. In our modern world, our livers often work overtime, dealing with stress hormones, processed foods, environmental toxins, and the chemical byproducts of our busy lifestyles. Breathing in, I am aware of my liver. Breathing out, I smile to my liver with compassion. Your liver may have been sending you messages for years: fatigue, digestive issues, mood changes, trying to let you know it needs support. But in the rush of daily life, these gentle signals are often ignored until they become serious symptoms. If your liver is struggling with stress or illness, you can stay with it longer in your loving scan. Breathe with it. Send it the healing energy of conscious attention. Acknowledge the hard work it's been doing to keep you healthy. This practice of offering loving awareness to areas that need healing can be profoundly therapeutic. You're not trying to cure any condition through willpower or positive thinking. You're simply creating the optimal conditions for your body's natural healing intelligence to do its work. You're removing the obstacles of stress and inattention that often interfere with the healing process. This practice typically takes about 20 minutes to complete, moving slowly and mindfully through your entire body. You don't need a doctor sitting beside you or expensive equipment. You can do this healing work by yourself, using only the medicine of loving awareness and conscious breathing. The remarkable thing about this practice is that it's inherently pleasant and deeply restful. You're not forcing yourself through a difficult or painful process. You're simply lying quietly, breathing naturally, and offering yourself the gift of complete attention. Many people find this practice so enjoyable that they look forward to it as a favorite part of their day. As you continue with this loving body scan, you begin to understand something profound about the nature of healing. Healing happens not when you fight against illness or try to force your body to change, but when you create space for your natural healing wisdom to emerge. Your body knows how to heal. You just need to get out of its way and support it with rest, attention, and trust. This doesn't mean you should abandon medical care or ignore serious symptoms. But it does mean you can support any healing process by offering your body the fundamental conditions it needs: deep rest, loving attention, and trust in its natural intelligence. If you're currently dealing with health challenges, this practice can complement whatever medical treatment you're receiving. The medicine of conscious relaxation and loving awareness works beautifully alongside conventional treatments, often making them more effective while reducing side effects and supporting overall well-being. Many people discover that when they practice this loving attention to their body regularly, they need less external intervention for minor health issues. Their sleep improves, their stress levels decrease, their immune system functions better, and their overall vitality increases. They're not replacing medical care. They're supporting their body's natural capacity to maintain health and recover from illness. The practice also extends beyond formal relaxation sessions. Throughout your day, you can offer moments of loving awareness to your body. When you're walking, you can appreciate your legs for carrying you. When you're eating, you can thank your digestive system for processing your food. When you're breathing, you can acknowledge your lungs for their constant service. This creates a completely different relationship with your body, one based on partnership and gratitude rather than neglect and criticism. Instead of treating your body like a machine that should perform perfectly without maintenance, you begin to relate to it as a wise friend that deserves your care and attention. From this foundation of loving awareness, you naturally begin to make choices that support your body's healing and vitality. You're more likely to choose nourishing foods, to get adequate rest, to move in ways that feel good, to avoid activities that cause harm. These choices arise not from guilt or discipline, but from love and appreciation for the miracle of being alive in a body. Remember, this practice of awakening your natural healing wisdom is not about becoming perfect or never getting sick. It's about developing a loving, conscious relationship with your body that supports its natural capacity for health and healing. It's about remembering that you carry within you an intelligence far greater than your thinking mind, an intelligence that knows how to mend bones, fight infections, restore balance, and maintain the incredible complexity of being alive. Each time you practice this loving attention to your body, you're not just relaxing or reducing stress. You're awakening a relationship with your own natural healing wisdom that can support you through every challenge and change in your life. You're remembering what animals in the wild have never forgotten, that the most profound healing happens when you trust your body's intelligence and create the conditions where that intelligence can work. Your breath is the most intimate companion you will ever have. It has been with you since the moment you were born, and it will remain with you until your very last moment. Yet most of us go through entire days, weeks, even years, barely noticing this faithful friend that keeps us alive with every single inhalation and exhalation. What makes your breath so special is that it exists perfectly in the present moment. You cannot breathe yesterday's breath or tomorrow's breath. You can only breathe right now, in this moment, making your breath the most reliable doorway to presence you could ever find. But there's something even more miraculous about your breathing that most people never discover. When you breathe with conscious awareness, when you breathe as an expression of arriving rather than surviving, your breath becomes medicine. Not metaphorical medicine, but actual, physical, emotional, and spiritual healing that you can feel in your body and being. Right now, as you listen to these words, your lungs are quietly drawing in air rich with oxygen and releasing carbon dioxide that your body no longer needs. This happens approximately 20,000 times each day, yet it's so automatic that you rarely give it a conscious thought. Your breathing continues while you sleep, while you work, while you worry, while you dream. It asks nothing from you, yet gives you everything, the very essence of life itself. In Buddhist teaching, there's a profound practice that can transform your relationship with breathing forever. Instead of breathing simply to stay alive, you learn to breathe as a practice of healing, arriving, and coming home to yourself. The foundation of this practice is beautifully simple. Breathing in, I relax my body. Breathing out, I smile to my body. Let's explore what it means to breathe in, relaxation. Most of the time when we're stressed or anxious, our breathing becomes shallow and tight. We breathe as if we're fighting for air, as if each breath requires effort and struggle. This kind of breathing actually increases tension in our body and agitation in our mind. But when you practice breathing in relaxation, something completely different happens. Your in-breath becomes an expression of arrival rather than effort. You're not breathing to get somewhere or achieve something. You're breathing to arrive more fully in this moment, to come home to yourself, to release the unconscious tension you've been carrying. Feel this for yourself right now. Take a slow, gentle breath in, and as you do, silently say to yourself, breathing in, I relax my body. Notice how this intention changes the quality of your breath. Instead of just taking in air, you're taking in the possibility of letting go, of softening, of allowing your body to remember what relaxation feels like. You can only truly relax your body when you stop. As long as your mind is racing toward the next moment, the next task, the next worry, your body will hold the tension of that mental movement. But when your in-breath carries the energy of stopping, of arriving, of being present, relaxation happens naturally without any force or effort. This is why mindful breathing is so different from simply trying to relax. You're not commanding your body to relax or struggling to make tension go away. You're creating the conditions where relaxation can emerge organically by offering your body the gift of present moment awareness through conscious breathing. As you breathe out, you can practice smiling to your body. This smile doesn't have to be a big, dramatic expression. It can be as subtle as the feeling of appreciation, as gentle as the warmth of recognition. You're acknowledging your body with kindness, offering it the energy of love and gratitude. When you smile to your body through your out-breath, you're practicing a form of love meditation. You're healing the often difficult relationship many of us have with our physical being. Instead of criticizing your body for not being perfect, instead of ignoring it until something goes wrong, you're offering it conscious appreciation and care. This practice becomes deeply enjoyable when you discover that breathing with awareness is actually pleasurable. Your in-breath is no longer just a biological function. It becomes a moment of nourishment, of coming home, of touching peace. Your out-breath becomes a release, a letting go, a way of sharing your inner calm with the world around you. Many people are amazed to discover that they've been breathing in a way that creates stress rather than reduces it. Shallow, rapid breathing sends signals to your nervous system that you're in danger, that you need to stay alert and ready for action. But slow, conscious breathing tells your nervous system that you're safe, that you can rest, that healing is possible. The beautiful thing about mindful breathing is that you don't need to have faith in any particular religion or philosophy. You just need to have faith in your own breath, in your own capacity to be present, in your own natural ability to heal and find peace. These are things you can verify for yourself through direct experience. You know whether your breath is helping you relax or creating more tension. You know whether your breathing is allowing your body to soften or causing it to tighten. You know whether conscious breathing brings you a sense of peace or leaves you feeling more agitated. This knowledge doesn't come from books or teachers. It comes from your own intimate experience of being alive and breathing. As you develop confidence in your breath as a healing tool, you begin to discover that every in-breath has the power to bring you home to yourself. No matter how scattered your mind has become, no matter how tense your body feels, no matter how overwhelming your emotions might be, your breath is always available as a refuge. This is particularly powerful when you're dealing with difficult feelings. Instead of trying to push away sadness, anger, fear, or loneliness, you can use your mindful breathing to create space around these emotions. Your breath becomes like a gentle container that can hold whatever arises without being overwhelmed by it. When challenging emotions come up, you can practice breathing with them rather than against them. Breathing in, I acknowledge this sadness. Breathing out, I hold it with compassion. You're not trying to make the emotion go away immediately. You're offering it the same loving attention you would give to a frightened child, present, patient, and caring. This approach to working with emotions through mindful breathing is revolutionary for many people. We're often taught to avoid difficult feelings or to analyze them until they make sense. But mindful breathing offers a third option, feeling your emotions fully while remaining centered in your breath, in your body, in the present moment. Your breath can also become a bridge between your conscious and unconscious mind. During the day, your conscious mind makes decisions and solves problems. But underneath this surface activity, your unconscious mind is processing experiences, integrating learning, and working on healing that happens outside your awareness. When you breathe mindfully, you're creating a communication pathway between these different levels of your being. Your conscious intention to relax and heal through breathing sends signals to your unconscious mind that it's safe to let go, safe to release old patterns, safe to allow deeper healing to occur. This is why many people find that regular mindful breathing practice improves not only their waking experience, but also their sleep and dreams. When you go to sleep, breathing consciously, you're setting an intention for your entire being to rest and restore. Your unconscious mind receives the message that healing is welcome, that peace is possible, that it's safe to let go completely. The practice can be especially transformative when you're dealing with physical pain or illness. Instead of fighting against discomfort or trying to escape from it, you can breathe with whatever you're experiencing. Your breath doesn't take away the pain, but it changes your relationship to it. Breathing in, I acknowledge this pain. Breathing out, I send love to the part of my body that hurts. You're not denying your experience or pretending everything is fine. You're bringing the healing power of conscious attention to exactly what is present, creating space around your experience so it doesn't overwhelm you completely. Many people discover that when they stop fighting against pain and start breathing with it mindfully, the pain often softens or changes quality. This isn't about forcing any particular outcome, but about creating optimal conditions for your body's natural healing response to function. Your breath is also a perfect teacher for learning about impermanence, the truth that everything changes. Each breath is unique and unrepeatable. Your in-breath arises and passes away. Your out-breath emerges and dissolves. No two breaths are exactly the same, just as no two moments of your life are identical. When you really pay attention to your breathing, you begin to understand in your body what Buddhist teaching means when it speaks of the flowing, changing nature of all experience. Your thoughts change like your breath changes. Your emotions arise and pass away like inhalation and exhalation. Your pain, your joy, your fear, your peace, all of these flow through you like the natural rhythm of breathing. This understanding can be deeply liberating when you're going through difficult times. Just as you don't hold on to your out-breath or try to make your in-breath last forever, you can learn to let experiences move through you without grasping or pushing away. Your breath teaches you how to flow with life rather than resist it. The more you practice mindful breathing, the more you realize that each breath is actually a complete meditation. In the space of one conscious breath, you can experience arriving, relaxing, appreciating, letting go, and coming home to yourself. You don't need to sit for hours to touch peace. You can find it in a single mindful breath. This makes the practice incredibly accessible for people with busy lives. You can practice mindful breathing while waiting in line, sitting in traffic, walking from room to room, or lying in bed before sleep. Any moment can become a moment of healing when you remember to breathe with conscious awareness. Over time, Mindful breathing creates a foundation of calm that supports everything else in your life. When challenges arise, you have an immediate tool for finding your center. When emotions become intense, you know how to create space around them. When stress builds up, you can return to the simple refuge of conscious breathing. Perhaps most importantly, regular practice of mindful breathing helps you develop unshakable faith in your own capacity for healing and peace. You don't need to depend on external circumstances being perfect or other people behaving a certain way. You carry within you, in every breath, the ability to come home to yourself and touch the peace that is always available beneath the surface of your busy life. Remember, your breath is not just keeping you alive, it's offering you a pathway to truly living. Each conscious breath is an opportunity to arrive more fully in your life, to heal old wounds, to discover the peace that has been waiting for you all along. Let your breathing become your teacher, your healer, your constant companion on the journey home to yourself. In the ancient Buddhist teachings, there's a beautiful image that can guide us into one of the most healing practices you'll ever learn. Imagine a wise farmer who has worked his land for many years, someone who knows seeds and soil with the intimacy that comes from decades of patient attention. At the end of harvest time, this farmer goes down to his cellar where he stores large bags of seeds for the next planting season. He carefully brings up one of these heavy bags, sets it down in a circle of warm lamplight, and opens it. Then, with the gentle precision of someone who truly loves his work, he pours the seeds onto the floor in front of him. Because his eyes are clear and his attention is steady, he can easily recognize each type of seed that spills across the wooden planks. "These are kidney beans," he says to himself, picking up a handful of the dark, kidney-shaped seeds. "And these are mung beans," noting their small, round shape and olive green color. "Here are corn kernels, and over there, grains of rice." Each seed is different, each one unique, each one containing within itself the potential for new life and nourishment. The farmer doesn't judge any of the seeds as good or bad. He doesn't wish the kidney beans were corn, or try to make the rice grains look like mung beans. He simply recognizes each seed for what it is, with the loving attention of someone who understands that every seed has its place, its purpose, its own particular gift to offer. This farmer, according to the Buddha's teaching, represents the practitioner who lies down to explore their own body with the same quality of gentle, recognizing awareness. Just as the farmer spreads out his seeds in the lamplight to see them clearly, you can spread your attention through your body, using the light of mindfulness to recognize and appreciate each part of your physical being. This practice is called body scanning, but it's so much more than a relaxation technique or stress reduction method. It's a meditation on love, a practice of coming home to yourself, a way of healing the often difficult relationship many of us have with our own bodies. When you practice like the wise farmer, you're learning to see your body not as a collection of problems to be fixed, but as a miraculous landscape to be explored with wonder and appreciation. Most of us live with a strange disconnection from our physical being. We spend so much time in our heads, focused on thoughts and plans and worries, that we barely notice the body that carries us through each day. We might pay attention to our body when it's hungry or tired or in pain, but rarely do we offer it the gift of loving awareness when it's simply being itself, doing its quiet work of keeping us alive. But imagine what it would feel like to receive the kind of attention you're about to learn to give yourself. Imagine someone sitting with you with complete presence, noticing everything about you with gentle appreciation, offering you their undivided attention without wanting you to be different or better or fixed. This is what you're learning to offer your own body, the medicine of loving awareness. To begin this practice, find a comfortable place where you can lie down. This might be on your bed, on a yoga mat on the floor, or even sitting in a very comfortable chair if lying down isn't possible for you right now. The important thing is that your body can rest and receive support, that you're not using energy to hold yourself up or maintain a particular posture. As you settle into your chosen position, take a moment to appreciate this simple act of lying down. Feel your body's weight being held completely by the earth beneath you. Notice how you don't have to do anything to be supported. The ground, the bed, the chair, they offer their support freely, asking nothing in return. This is your first taste of the surrender that makes deep healing possible. Now, like the farmer who first acknowledges his whole bag of seeds before examining each type individually, you can begin with awareness of your body as a complete, integrated whole. Breathing in, I am aware of my body. This is like saying good morning to an old friend, like coming home after a long journey away. For many people, this simple moment of acknowledging their body as a whole is surprisingly emotional. You might realize how long it's been since you really paid attention to your physical being, how much you've taken for granted, how often you've treated your body as something to push through fatigue rather than something to care for with tenderness. Whatever arises is perfectly okay. This is the beginning of healing. Breathing out, I smile to my body. This smile is an expression of gratitude, of recognition, of the intention to treat yourself with kindness. You're beginning to repair the relationship between your conscious mind and your physical being, acknowledging your body as a partner in life, rather than a burden to carry. From this foundation of appreciation for your body as a whole, you can begin the loving journey through each part, starting from the very top of your head. Like the farmer's lamp casting light on each type of seed, you'll use the light of mindfulness to illuminate each area of your body with gentle attention. Breathing in, I am aware of the hair on my head. Breathing out, I smile to my hair. When did you last appreciate your hair for protecting your scalp, for keeping you warm, for being part of your unique appearance? Your hair grows quietly and persistently, asking nothing from you, yet adding to your identity and protecting your skin from sun and cold. Breathing in, I am aware of my forehead. Breathing out, I smile to my forehead. Your forehead houses your frontal brain, the part of you that plans and decides and solves problems, It's also the place where worry lines might appear, where you might hold tension from concentration or stress. Can you offer your forehead a moment of softening, of appreciation for all the thinking it supports? Breathing in, I am aware of my eyes. Breathing out, I smile to my eyes. Here you might pause a little longer because your eyes are such faithful servants. They've been working since the moment you woke up this morning, gathering light, focusing near and far, bringing you the visual beauty of the world. Think of everything your eyes have seen today already. The colors of sunrise, the faces of people you love, the words you've read, the path you've walked. Your eyes work constantly to help you navigate safely through your environment, to bring you information and beauty, and the ability to connect with others through sight. They deserve a moment of your gratitude and care. If you have challenges with your vision, this moment becomes even more precious. You can appreciate your eyes for whatever sight they do provide, or if you've lost your vision, you can thank them for the years of service they gave you, for the memories of visual beauty they helped you store. Every pair of eyes has its own story, its own gift, its own worthiness of love. Breathing in, I am aware of my ears. Breathing out, I smile to my ears. Right now, your ears are bringing you the sound of these words, but they're also monitoring your environment for safety, helping you maintain balance, connecting you to the world of music and laughter and conversation. Your ears have been with you through every song that's ever moved you, every voice that's ever comforted you, every sound of nature that's brought you peace. Breathing in, I am aware of my nose. Breathing out, I smile to my nose. Your nose is working right now to filter and warm the air you breathe, to protect your lungs from dust and particles. It brings you the smell of flowers and fresh bread and rain on earth, connecting you to memories and emotions through the ancient pathway of scent. Breathing in, I am aware of my mouth. Breathing out, I smile to my mouth. Your mouth allows you to speak words of love and comfort, to taste the sweetness of fruit and the satisfaction of a good meal. Through your mouth, you can offer smiles that light up other people's days. You can speak truth and kindness. You can express your thoughts and feelings to the world. As you continue this journey down through your body, you might notice that some areas feel more alive and present than others. Some parts of your body might feel warm and receptive to your attention, while others feel numb or disconnected. This is completely normal. Many of us have learned to disconnect from parts of our body as a way of coping with pain, trauma, or simply the demands of busy living. The invitation is not to force any particular feeling or sensation, but simply to offer your loving attention to each part, exactly as it is. Like the farmer who recognizes each seed without trying to change it, you're learning to recognize each part of your body without needing it to be different. Breathing in, I am aware of my neck and throat. Breathing out, I smile to my neck and throat. Your neck supports the weight of your head and houses your throat, which allows you to swallow nourishment and speak your truth. Many people hold tension in their neck from stress or from looking down at screens too much. Can you offer this area some softening, some appreciation for its constant work? Breathing in, I am aware of my shoulders. Breathing out, I smile to my shoulders. Your shoulders literally carry the weight of your arms and often metaphorically carry the weight of your responsibilities. They might be holding tension from stress or effort. Can you let them drop just a little, offering them the message that it's safe to let go, safe to rest? When you reach your heart, you might want to pause here for several breaths. Breathing in, I am aware of my heart. Breathing out, I smile to my heart with deep gratitude. Your heart has been beating faithfully since before you were born, pumping blood to nourish every cell in your body without ever taking a break. Place one or both hands on your chest if that feels comfortable, and really feel your heartbeat. This muscle has been working for you every moment of your life, adjusting its rhythm to meet your body's needs, speeding up when you need energy, slowing down when you rest. How often do you acknowledge this faithful companion that keeps you alive? If you're dealing with heart problems or cardiovascular concerns, this moment becomes especially important. Instead of relating to your heart only through worry or fear, you can offer it loving appreciation for all the years of service it's given you, and send it the healing energy of gratitude and care. Your heart responds to love, both the love you give to others and the love you offer to yourself. Breathing in, I am aware of my lungs. Breathing out, I smile to my lungs. Right now, your lungs are extracting life-giving oxygen from the air and releasing carbon dioxide that your body no longer needs. They do this automatically, approximately 20,000 times per day, without any conscious effort from you. Your lungs are the bridge between your inner world and the outer world, constantly exchanging gases that keep you alive and healthy. As you move into your abdomen, you encounter organs that work tirelessly behind the scenes to keep you nourished and healthy. Breathing in, I am aware of my stomach. Breathing out, I smile to my stomach. Your stomach breaks down the food you eat, beginning the process of transforming meals into energy and building blocks for your cells. Breathing in, I am aware of my liver. Breathing out, I smile to my liver with compassion. Your liver might be the hardest working organ in your body, performing over 500 different functions to keep you healthy. It filters toxins from your blood, produces essential proteins, stores energy, and helps your body process nutrients. In our modern world, our livers often work overtime, dealing with stress hormones, processed foods, environmental toxins, and the chemical byproducts of busy living. If your liver is struggling, or if you've been hard on it through poor diet or excessive stress, this is a moment to offer it special appreciation and care. You might stay here for several breaths, sending your liver the healing energy of conscious attention and gratitude. When you reach any part of your body that's experiencing pain, illness, or injury, the practice becomes especially powerful. Instead of avoiding these areas or feeling frustrated with them, you can offer them extra time and loving attention. Breathing in, I acknowledge this pain. Breathing out, I send love to this part of my body that's working so hard to heal. You're not trying to cure anything through willpower or positive thinking. You're simply creating optimal conditions for your body's natural healing intelligence to work. Pain often contains important information, and when you listen to it with compassion rather than resistance, you can often understand what your body needs for healing. Continue this loving journey through your arms and hands, appreciating these appendages that allow you to embrace loved ones, to create and build, to touch and feel texture and temperature. Move through your pelvis and reproductive organs, your hips and legs, all the way down to your feet that carry you through the world. Each part of your body has been serving you faithfully, often without recognition or appreciation. Your feet have carried you through countless steps. Your legs have supported your weight and moved you through space. Your hands have created and caressed and worked. Every part deserves this moment of loving recognition. The complete body scan typically takes about 20 to 30 minutes, but there's no rush. You can take as long as you like, staying extra time with areas that need healing or that feel particularly receptive to your attention. The practice is inherently pleasant and deeply restful. You're not working hard or forcing anything to happen. As you finish your journey through your body, take a moment to appreciate yourself as a whole being again. Like the farmer who gathers his seeds back into their bag, knowing each type and appreciating the diversity of his collection, you can rest in awareness of your body as a complete, integrated, miraculous system. Many people find that this practice changes their relationship with their body permanently. Instead of relating to your body primarily through criticism or neglect, you begin to develop a partnership based on love and appreciation. You start making choices that support your body's well-being, not from guilt or discipline, but from genuine care for this faithful companion that carries you through life. Remember, like the wise farmer tending his seeds, this practice requires patience and gentleness. Some days your body will feel more receptive to your attention, some days less so. Both are perfectly fine. The healing comes not from perfect practice, but from the consistent offering of loving awareness to the miracle of being alive in a body. Now we come to one of the most profound healing practices in all of Buddhist wisdom, the art of total deep relaxation. This isn't just lying down and trying to feel calmer, though many people mistake it for simple rest. This is a complete surrender of your entire being to the healing power of the present moment, a practice so restorative that 20 minutes can be more healing than hours of ordinary sleep. In our culture, we've forgotten what true rest actually means. We think we're resting when we collapse on the couch after a long day, but our minds are still racing with tomorrow's worries. We believe we're relaxing when we scroll through our phones in bed, but our nervous systems remain activated by the constant stream of information. We assume we're taking care of ourselves when we sleep, but many of us wake up feeling like we've been working all night. Total deep relaxation is different from all of these. because it engages your conscious awareness in the process of letting go. You're not just waiting for relaxation to happen, you're actively participating in creating the conditions where your body and mind can release everything they've been holding. You're using the light of mindfulness to guide your entire being into a state of profound rest and healing. This practice comes directly from the Buddha's own instructions on how to allow the body and mind to truly rest. Over 2,500 years ago, he understood something that modern science is just beginning to rediscover. The body has an extraordinary capacity to heal itself when it's given the proper conditions for deep rest. But this healing rest doesn't happen automatically. It requires conscious intention and gentle guidance. The foundation of total deep relaxation is the understanding that your body and mind are not separate systems that need different approaches. They are intimately connected, each one affecting the other in ways both obvious and subtle. When your body learns to completely let go, your mind naturally becomes peaceful. When your mind releases its constant activity, your body can finally rest at the deepest level. Most of us carry tension in our bodies that we're not even aware of. Your shoulders might be slightly raised from stress, your jaw might be clenched from concentration, your stomach might be tight from anxiety. This tension has become so familiar that it feels normal, but it requires constant energy to maintain and prevents your body from accessing its natural healing resources. Total deep relaxation teaches your body how to let go completely, how to surrender all unnecessary effort and trust in the support that's always available. It's like learning to float in water. At first, you might struggle and sink, but once you understand how to let the water hold you, floating becomes effortless and deeply restful. You can practice total deep relaxation either lying down or sitting in a very comfortable chair. If you choose to lie down, find a surface that supports your body without being too soft. Your bed, a yoga mat on the floor, or even a carpet with a pillow for your head. If sitting feels better for your body, choose a chair that allows you to rest completely without having to use effort to stay upright. The key is that your body should feel completely supported so that you can release all muscular effort. You want to reach a state where your body feels so held by whatever surface you're on that you could fall asleep easily, but your mind remains gently aware and present. This combination of physical surrender and mental awareness is what makes this practice so uniquely healing. As you settle into your chosen position, begin by acknowledging what you're about to do. You're not just taking a break or killing time. You're engaging in one of the most important healing practices available to human beings. You're giving yourself permission to completely stop all effort, all striving, all attempt to be anywhere other than exactly where you are. Breathing in, I allow my body to rest completely. Breathing out, I let go of everything I've been carrying. Feel what it means to truly allow your body to rest. This isn't about forcing relaxation or commanding your muscles to soften. It's about giving your body permission to do what it naturally wants to do when it feels safe and supported. You can begin by feeling the weight of your body surrendering to gravity. Notice how the earth supports you completely without any effort from you. The ground, the bed, the chair, whatever is holding you asks nothing in return for this support. You can trust this support completely, allowing your body to become heavier and heavier as you release the unconscious effort of holding yourself together. Start with your head, which carries so much responsibility during your waking hours. Your head houses your brain, which works constantly to process information, make decisions, solve problems, and keep you safe. Now you can give your head permission to rest completely. Let it sink into whatever surface is supporting it, feeling the relief of finally letting go of the subtle effort of holding your head upright. Allow your eyes to close or soften their gaze, releasing them from their constant work of focusing and seeing. Your eyes have been gathering visual information all day, adjusting to different lights and distances, protecting you by staying alert. Now they can rest completely, sinking back into their sockets, letting go of all effort. Feel your jaw releasing any tension it might be holding. Many of us clench our jaws when we concentrate or feel stressed, sometimes so unconsciously that we don't realize we're doing it. Let your jaw drop slightly open, your tongue resting softly in your mouth, all the muscles of your face melting into complete relaxation. Move your attention to your neck and shoulders, areas where so many of us store tension from the responsibilities we carry. Your neck has been supporting the weight of your head all day. Your shoulders have been holding the position of your arms. Now you can let your neck sink completely into support. Let your shoulders drop away from your ears, feeling them spread wide as they release all effort. As you continue this journey of release down through your body, you might notice that some areas let go easily, while others seem to hold on to tension. This is completely natural and expected. Some parts of your body have been tense for so long that they've forgotten how to relax. The invitation is not to force these areas to change, but to offer them your patient, loving attention. When you encounter an area that feels tight or resistant, you can breathe with it gently. Breathing in, I acknowledge this tension. Breathing out, I invite this area to rest when it's ready. You're not demanding immediate relaxation. You're creating the optimal conditions for letting go to happen naturally. Your arms have been working all day, reaching and lifting and gesturing and creating. Now they can rest completely, sinking into whatever surface supports them, becoming so heavy that you couldn't lift them without conscious effort. Feel your hands opening naturally, your fingers uncurling, all the intricate muscles of your arms and hands releasing their constant readiness for action. Your chest houses your heart and lungs, organs that never get to rest the way your muscles can. But you can allow the muscles around your chest to soften completely, creating more space for your heart and lungs to do their work with ease. Feel your ribcage expanding as you breathe in, releasing as you breathe out, your breath becoming slower and deeper as your body recognizes that it's safe to rest. Your abdomen might be holding tension from stress, anxiety, or the effort of digestion. This area of your body is deeply connected to your emotional life. You might literally feel butterflies in your stomach when nervous, or a knot in your belly when worried. Now you can breathe into your abdomen, allowing it to soften and expand, creating space for whatever emotions might be stored there to release gently. As you move into your lower back and pelvis, you encounter the foundation of your upright posture. Your lower back works constantly to keep you vertical. Your pelvis supports the weight of your upper body. These areas often carry not just physical tension, but also the metaphorical weight of responsibilities and burdens. Now you can let this entire area sink into complete support, feeling the relief of finally putting down everything you've been carrying. Your legs have carried you through countless steps, supported your weight, moved you through space. Your thighs, knees, calves, and feet can now rest completely, becoming so heavy and relaxed that they feel like they're melting into whatever supports them. Feel your feet especially releasing all effort. These faithful companions that have carried you through the world can finally rest completely. As you reach this state of complete physical relaxation, something beautiful begins to happen. Your mind, which has been accustomed to a certain level of background tension and alertness, starts to settle into a different kind of awareness. You're not falling asleep. You're entering a state of conscious rest where healing can occur at the deepest level. In this state of total relaxation, your nervous system can shift completely out of stress mode and into what scientists call the rest and digest response. Your heart rate slows, your blood pressure decreases, your breathing becomes deeper and more efficient. Your body begins to direct energy away from emergency preparedness and toward healing, repair, and restoration. This is when the real magic of the practice reveals itself. You're not just relaxing, you're creating optimal conditions for your body's natural healing intelligence to work. Your immune system can function more effectively, your digestive system can process nutrients more efficiently, your muscles can repair and strengthen, your mind can integrate the day's experiences and clear away mental clutter. If you're dealing with any health challenges, this state of total relaxation becomes especially important. Whether you're recovering from illness, managing chronic conditions, or supporting your body through medical treatments, this practice creates the ideal environment for healing to occur. You're not trying to cure anything through relaxation alone, but you're giving your body every possible advantage in its natural healing process. The practice of total deep relaxation also has profound effects on your emotional and mental well-being. When your body is completely relaxed, emotions that you've been holding in tension can finally surface and release. You might find yourself feeling waves of different emotions during the practice: sadness, joy, gratitude, relief. All of these are welcome and natural as your being releases what it's been storing. Sometimes people worry that they'll fall asleep during total relaxation practice, and while this isn't the goal, it's not a problem either. If your body is deeply tired, the practice might naturally lead into healing sleep. But often, people discover that this conscious relaxation is even more restorative than sleep because they're actively participating in the rest rather than simply losing consciousness. The ideal state is one where your body is completely relaxed, but your awareness remains gently present. You're like a calm lake, perfectly still on the surface but fully aware of the life flowing beneath. In this state, you can actually feel your body healing, feel tension releasing, feel peace spreading through every cell. As you become comfortable with this practice, you can extend it for longer periods. While 20 to 30 minutes is typically sufficient for significant benefits, some people enjoy practicing for an hour or more when they have time. The longer you rest in this state of total relaxation, the deeper the healing that can occur. You might also begin to notice that regular practice of total deep relaxation changes your baseline level of tension throughout the day. When your body remembers what complete relaxation feels like, it becomes easier to release unnecessary tension before it accumulates. You develop a reference point for true rest that helps you recognize when you're holding stress in your body. Remember, this practice is not a luxury or an escape from life. It's essential medicine for anyone living in our demanding world. Just as you wouldn't expect your car to run forever without maintenance, you can't expect your body and mind to function optimally without regular deep rest. Total relaxation practice is like taking your entire being in for the most thorough, loving maintenance possible. As you complete each session of total deep relaxation, take a moment to appreciate what you've just given yourself. You've offered your body and mind the gift of complete rest. You've created space for natural healing to occur, and you've practiced one of the most important life skills you can develop. Carry this sense of deep rest with you as you return to your daily activities, knowing that this refuge of peace is always available to you. The true test of any spiritual practice is not how peaceful you feel during formal meditation, but how that peace translates into the ordinary moments of your daily life. The beautiful secret of Buddhist wisdom is that every single activity you do, from washing dishes to walking across a room to eating a meal, can become an opportunity for healing and awakening. You don't need to set aside hours each day for special practice when you learn to live meditatively. This transformation begins with understanding that there are no ordinary moments. Every breath you take, every step you make, every bite of food you eat is an opportunity to practice presence, to come home to yourself, to touch the peace that is always available beneath the surface of your busy mind. When you truly grasp this, your entire life becomes a meditation hall. Your whole day becomes a retreat. Let's begin with something you do every single day: eating. Most of us eat while doing something else, reading emails, watching television, planning the afternoon, reviewing yesterday's conversations. We consume our food so mindlessly that we barely taste it, treating meals as fuel stops rather than opportunities for nourishment and presence. But imagine what becomes possible when you eat your breakfast as a practice of mindful presence. You sit down at your table not just to consume calories for the morning's energy, but to engage in a meditation on gratitude, awareness, and simple joy. This single shift can transform not only your relationship with food, but your entire experience of starting each day. When you practice mindful eating, you can take 20, 25, or even 30 minutes for breakfast. This might sound like a luxury in your busy schedule, but consider what you're actually doing during this time. You're practicing total relaxation while eating. You're training your nervous system to shift out of stress mode and into rest mode. You're beginning your day from a place of peace rather than rushing. Sit down to eat as if you have absolutely nothing to worry about, nothing to accomplish, nowhere to be, except exactly where you are. You become like someone with no business concerns, no deadlines, no responsibilities, except the simple act of receiving nourishment. This is not irresponsible. This is recognizing that these few minutes of complete presence will actually make you more effective and peaceful for everything that follows. As you take your first bite, chew slowly and deliberately, as if you're discovering the taste of food for the first time. Feel the texture on your tongue. Notice the flavors as they emerge and change. Appreciate the fact that this simple act of eating is keeping you alive and healthy. Each bite becomes a moment of gratitude, each swallow an acknowledgement of the miracle of digestion and nourishment. This practice of mindful eating becomes a form of total relaxation. Your body can focus completely on the task of digestion, rather than multitasking between eating and stress. Your mind can rest in the simple pleasure of taste and nourishment, instead of racing through mental to-do lists. You're giving both your body and mind permission to be completely present with this fundamental act of self-care. When you eat this way, you often discover that you need less food to feel satisfied because you're actually present for the eating experience. You taste your food more fully, your body registers nourishment more completely, and you develop a natural wisdom about what and how much to eat. This isn't a diet technique, it's a practice of coming home to your body's natural intelligence. The same quality of mindful presence can transform every meal of your day. Lunch becomes a meditation break in the middle of your busy schedule, a chance to return to yourself and remember what really matters. Dinner becomes a time of transition, helping you shift from the day's activities into evening rest and restoration. But the practice extends far beyond eating. Every activity in your daily life can become an opportunity for healing when you bring the quality of complete presence to it. Walking from room to room, washing dishes, brushing your teeth, getting dressed, all of these ordinary activities can become gateways to peace and awareness. Consider the simple act of washing dishes, something that many people find boring or tedious. But when you wash dishes with complete presence, this activity becomes a beautiful meditation. You feel the warm water on your hands. You notice the bubbles and the way light plays through them. You appreciate the simple satisfaction of transforming something dirty into something clean. As you wash each dish, you can practice the same loving attention you learned in body scanning. This plate served you well during your meal. This cup brought you nourishment. This fork helped you eat with ease. You're not just cleaning objects, you're caring for the tools that support your daily life, and in doing so, you're practicing gratitude and presence. When you wash dishes mindfully, you're also practicing the art of transformation. You're taking something that was used and soiled and returning it to a state of cleanliness and readiness. This mirrors the work of spiritual practice, taking the scattered, stressed parts of yourself and returning them to clarity and peace. The warm water on your hands can remind you of the healing power of the present moment. The repetitive motion of washing can become a moving meditation, like the walking practice you've learned. Instead of washing dishes while your mind races through other concerns, you can wash dishes as a practice of arriving fully in this moment. Walking, which you do countless times throughout each day, offers perhaps the most accessible opportunities for practice. Every time you move from one place to another, across your kitchen, through your office, down the street, you can transform this ordinary activity into a meditation in motion. When you walk mindfully, you're not just trying to get somewhere efficiently. You're walking to practice presence, to feel your feet connecting with the earth, to appreciate the miracle of movement and balance. Each step becomes an opportunity to say, "I have arrived, I am home," to remember that you don't need to be anywhere other than exactly where you are. You don't need to walk slowly or in any special way to practice mindful walking. You can walk at whatever pace your situation requires, while still maintaining awareness of the walking itself. The key is bringing conscious attention to the physical experience of moving through space, rather than being lost in mental planning or reviewing. Even brief moments of mindful walking can shift your entire state of being. Walking from your car to your office door with complete presence can help you arrive at work feeling centered and clear. Walking from your desk to the bathroom with awareness can become a mini meditation that refreshes your mind and body. Walking through your home in the evening can help you transition from the day's activities into rest and relaxation. The practice of bringing presence to daily activities also transforms your relationship with time. When you're fully present with what you're doing, you stop feeling like you're constantly behind or rushing to catch up. You discover that this moment, exactly as it is actually enough. You're not living in the gap between where you are and where you think you should be. You're living fully in the reality of now. This shift in your relationship with time has profound effects on stress and anxiety. Much of our daily stress comes from the feeling that we're not where we're supposed to be, that we're falling behind, that we need to be doing something else or being someone different. But when you practice presence with ordinary activities, you discover that you're actually exactly where you need to be, doing exactly what you need to be doing. Breathing, which happens automatically all day long, becomes your constant companion in this practice of living meditatively. Throughout your day, you can return again and again to conscious breathing as a way of arriving in the present moment. Whether you're sitting in a meeting, standing in line, driving in traffic, or lying in bed, your breath is always available as a doorway to peace. You don't need to breathe in any special way or take time away from your activities to practice mindful breathing. You can simply notice your breathing while you're doing whatever you're doing, allowing this awareness to anchor you in the present moment. 3 conscious breaths can shift you from stress to calm, from scattered to centered, from overwhelmed to peaceful. The beautiful thing about extending your practice into daily life is that it creates a continuous stream of healing moments throughout your day. Instead of having just 1 or 2 formal meditation sessions, you have dozens of opportunities to touch peace, to come home to yourself, to practice presence. Your entire day becomes a retreat. Your whole life becomes a practice of awakening. This doesn't mean you need to be perfectly mindful every moment of every day. That would be exhausting and unrealistic. It means you begin to notice opportunities for presence and take advantage of them when you remember. Some moments you'll be completely present, some moments your mind will be elsewhere, and both are perfectly fine. The practice is in the returning, not in the staying. Each time you notice that your mind has wandered into worry or planning, and you gently bring it back to the present activity, you're strengthening your capacity for presence. Each time you remember to breathe consciously, or walk mindfully, or eat with awareness, you're cultivating the skill of living from peace rather than stress. As you continue to practice bringing presence to daily activities, you might notice that your overall baseline of peace and calm begins to shift. Instead of feeling stressed most of the time with occasional moments of peace, you begin to feel peaceful most of the time with occasional moments of stress. This isn't about becoming passive or disengaged. It's about discovering that you can be fully engaged with life while remaining rooted in inner calm. Your practice also begins to influence the people around you. When you're truly present with others, when you listen with complete attention, when you speak from a place of calm centeredness, when you move through the world with peace, others feel this and are affected by it. You become a source of healing and calm in your family, your workplace, your community. This ripple effect is one of the most beautiful aspects of spiritual practice. You don't need to preach or teach or try to change others. You simply embody the peace and presence you're cultivating, and this naturally invites others to remember their own capacity for calm and awareness. Children are especially responsive to this kind of authentic presence. When you're with children while practicing mindful presence, they often naturally become calmer and more centered themselves. You're showing them through your way of being that it's possible to live from peace, that stress and rushing are not the only ways to engage with life. Remember, every step you take with awareness, every breath you breathe consciously, every bite you eat with presence, every activity you do mindfully has the power of healing. Not just healing for you, but healing for the world around you. When you live from presence rather than stress, when you move through your day from peace rather than anxiety, you're contributing to the healing of our collective human consciousness. The practice is always available, in every moment, in every activity. Your life becomes your meditation hall. Your daily routine becomes your spiritual practice. Your ordinary activities become gateways to extraordinary peace. This is the gift of Buddhist wisdom, not escape from life, but the complete transformation of how you engage with life. Now we come to one of the most important questions you'll ever ask yourself. Are you truly present for your own life? Or are you constantly running towards some other moment? This isn't a philosophical question. It's the most practical inquiry you can make, because the answer determines whether you're actually living or just existing in a kind of wakeful sleep. To be fully present means that your body and mind are in the same place at the same time, right here, right now. It means you're not physically sitting in your chair while mentally rehearsing tomorrow's meeting. It means you're not walking through your neighborhood while your thoughts replay yesterday's conversation. It means you're completely here, fully available to this moment, this breath, this experience of being alive. But for most of us, true presence is surprisingly rare. We might be present for a few seconds at a time, when we're startled by a beautiful sunset, when we're laughing with a loved one, when we're absorbed in something we enjoy. But most of the time, we're living in what we might call split reality, body here, mind elsewhere. This split creates a profound problem. If you're not present for your own life, who will be? If you're not here for yourself, for your body, for your feelings, for your actual experience of being alive, then you're essentially living as a stranger to yourself. You're missing your own life while it unfolds around you. Your body needs your presence. Right now, your body is sending you countless signals about comfort and discomfort, about energy and tiredness, about what nourishes it and what depletes it. But if you're not present, you miss these important messages. You might push through fatigue instead of resting, ignore hunger instead of eating, or carry tension instead of relaxing. Your feelings also need your presence. Throughout each day, emotions arise and pass away like waves on the ocean. Joy, sadness, frustration, gratitude, fear, love. These feelings carry important information about your life, your relationships, your needs and boundaries. But when you're running toward the next moment, you miss the wisdom your emotions are trying to share with you. Perhaps most importantly, your deeper self, the part of you that knows what truly matters, what brings genuine happiness, what your life is really about, needs your presence to communicate with you. This inner wisdom speaks in whispers, not shouts. It communicates through subtle feelings, gentle insights, quiet knowing. But when your mind is constantly racing towards somewhere else, you can't hear this gentle voice of wisdom. When you're not present for yourself, you also can't be truly present for the people you love. You might be physically with your family, friends, or colleagues, but if your mind is elsewhere, they feel your absence. They sense that while your body is there, you're not really available to them. Think about what it feels like when someone gives you their complete attention. When someone looks at you with full presence, listens to you without planning their response, stays with you emotionally without rushing to fix or change anything. This kind of presence is deeply nourishing and increasingly rare in our distracted world. Now consider what it feels like when someone is with you, but not really there. Their eyes might be on their phone, their mind might be on their problems, their attention might be scattered across multiple concerns. Even if they're saying the right words, you can feel their absence, and it leaves you feeling disconnected and alone. This is what happens in your relationship with yourself when you're constantly running. You're physically present in your own life, but you're not really there for yourself. You're missing the subtle joys, the quiet beauty, the simple satisfaction of being alive that are available in every moment when you're truly present. The tragedy is that while you're running towards some imagined better moment, you're missing the wonders that are available right now. The blue sky is there for you, but because your mind is caught up in worries about tomorrow, you don't see it. The birds are singing outside your window, but because you're mentally reviewing yesterday's problems, you don't hear them. Someone you love is sitting near you, but because you're planning next week's schedule, you don't feel their presence. In Buddhist understanding, all the wonders of life are available only in the present moment. This isn't poetic exaggeration, it's literal truth. You cannot see a sunset in the past or future, you can only see it now. You cannot feel love or joy or peace except in the present moment. You cannot touch the sacred, the beautiful, the meaningful except through present moment awareness. What we call the kingdom of heaven, or in Buddhist terms, the Pure Land, is not some distant realm you go to after death. It's available right here, right now, when you stop running and become fully present. The peace you're seeking, the love you're longing for, the sense of coming home you're chasing, it's all here when you learn to truly arrive. But this requires stopping the habit of running, and that's not always easy. Running has become so automatic that many people don't even realize they're doing it. They think they're living their life, but they're actually living mostly in their thoughts about life. Some people live for decades in this state of constant motion, never learning to be present, never discovering what's available when you stop. They carry their own absence with them wherever they go. They're like people walking around while sleeping, going through the motions of living without ever fully arriving in their own experience. This isn't anyone's fault. We live in a culture that values doing over being, achieving over appreciating, getting somewhere over being somewhere. We're taught from a young age that worth comes from productivity, that value comes from accomplishment, that happiness lies in the next achievement or acquisition. But Buddhist wisdom offers a radically different understanding. It says that everything you're seeking is already here when you learn to stop and be present. You don't need to become someone different or achieve something more to access peace, joy, and deep contentment. You need to stop running long enough to notice what's already available. The beautiful thing is that you can help others discover this too. When you learn to be truly present, you become like a lighthouse, offering others a glimpse of what's possible when you stop running. Your presence itself becomes a teaching, an invitation for others to remember their own capacity for stopping and arriving. You can rescue people who are lost in their own running by simply being present with them. When you offer someone your complete attention, when you listen with your whole being, when you're fully there without trying to fix or change anything, you're giving them a precious gift. You're showing them what presence feels like, and this can awaken their own longing to come home to themselves. This is how healing spreads in the world, not through preaching or convincing, but through embodying the peace and presence that others recognize as what they've been seeking all along. When you're truly present, you help others remember that they too can stop running and arrive in their own lives. The practice is simple but profound. Whenever you notice you're running mentally or emotionally, pause and ask yourself, what's actually happening right now? Not what you think should be happening, not what you're worried might happen, but what's actually present in this moment. Usually, you'll discover that this moment is quite manageable, even pleasant. You're breathing, which means you're alive. You're aware, which means you have the capacity for consciousness and choice. You're here, which means you have the opportunity to touch life directly, rather than living through your thoughts about life. When you recognize what's actually happening in the present moment, you can begin to touch the wonders that are always available. The blue sky that's been waiting for you to notice it. The sound of birds or wind or distant laughter that's been calling for your attention. The feeling of your feet on the ground, your breath moving in and out, your heart beating steadily in your chest. These simple realities might not seem like much when your mind is caught up in drama and worry and planning. But when you're truly present with them, they reveal themselves as profound sources of peace and contentment. You begin to understand that what you've been running toward has been here all along, waiting for you to stop and receive it. The choice between running and presence is available to you in every moment. You can continue the exhausting habit of always being on the way to somewhere else, or you can practice the revolutionary act of arriving where you are. You can keep searching for life in the future, or you can discover the life that's happening right now. This moment, exactly as it is your only opportunity to be fully alive. This breath, this heartbeat, this instance of awareness, this is where your life is actually happening. When you stop running and arrive here completely, you discover that you've been carrying the kingdom of heaven with you all along. You just needed to stop moving long enough to notice it. As we near the end of our journey together, we come to perhaps the most beautiful aspect of this practice, learning to recognize and make deep contact with the healing elements that surround you in every moment. This isn't about looking for something extraordinary or mystical, but about awakening to the profound nourishment that's already available in the garden of your daily life. When you practice stopping, when you learn to be truly present, something wonderful begins to happen. You start to notice things that have been there all along but were invisible to your running mind. You begin to recognize the countless sources of healing and renewal that exist in every environment, waiting patiently for your attention. Right now, as you listen to these words, there are elements of healing available to you. Perhaps you can hear birds singing outside your window, these small creatures offering their song freely to the world, asking nothing in return. The sound of birdsong has been used for healing throughout human history because something in our nervous system recognizes it as a signal of safety and natural harmony. When you truly listen to birds singing, not as background noise, but as a conscious practice of deep contact, something shifts in your being. Your breathing naturally slows, your shoulders relax, your mind becomes more spacious. You're not just hearing sounds, you're receiving a transmission of peace from the natural world that remembers how to live without anxiety or struggle. Perhaps you can hear the sound of wind moving through trees, or water flowing in a stream, or even the distant hum of life in your neighborhood. These sounds carry healing frequencies that can help restore balance to your nervous system when you really listen to them. But you have to stop the mental running long enough to receive what they're offering. The blue sky, if you can see it, has been waiting for you to notice its vast, unchanging presence. Clouds may come and go, storms may arise and pass, but the sky itself remains spacious and clear. When you look at the sky with present moment awareness, you're reminded of your own essential nature, the vast, peaceful awareness that remains constant beneath all the changing weather of thoughts and emotions. Trees, whether you can see them from where you are or you remember them from your last walk outdoors, offer a profound teaching about patience and rootedness. They grow slowly, respond wisely to seasons, bend with storms without breaking, and offer their gifts of oxygen and beauty without asking for anything in return. When you really look at trees, you're reminded of what it means to be grounded yet flexible, generous yet self-sustaining. Mountains, even if you only remember them or imagine them, represent the unshakable stability that exists within your own being. Mountains weather all seasons, all storms, all changes, yet remain fundamentally unchanged. When you contemplate mountains, you're connecting with the part of yourself that cannot be disturbed by temporary difficulties or changing circumstances. But recognition alone is not enough. The healing comes through deep contact, allowing yourself to truly receive what these elements of nature are offering. This means slowing down enough to really listen to the birds, to really see the sky, to really feel the presence of trees and earth and wind. Deep contact happens when you move beyond simply noticing these healing elements to actually opening yourself to receive their gifts. When you listen to flowing water, you can allow its quality of fluid movement to flow through your own being, releasing whatever has become stuck or stagnant. When you feel wind on your skin, you can let it blow away old worries and refresh your spirit. This practice of recognition and deep contact becomes especially important in our modern world, where we're constantly exposed to what we might call toxic elements. Every day, through news media, social media, conversations, and our own thought patterns, we can be invaded by energies of anger, fear, despair, and hatred. These elements are not nourishing. They drain our vitality and cloud our natural peace. We often allow these poisonous elements to penetrate deeply into our consciousness without even realizing it. We watch news that fills us with anxiety, scroll through social media that triggers comparison and inadequacy, engage in conversations that leave us feeling depleted. We permit our children to absorb these same toxins, thinking this is just the normal price of living in the modern world. But Buddhist wisdom teaches us that we have a choice. We can continue to unconsciously consume whatever mental and emotional pollution is offered to us, or we can practice conscious recognition of what nourishes us versus what depletes us. We can learn to protect our inner environment just as carefully as we would protect our physical health. This isn't about denying the reality of problems in the world or becoming isolated from important issues. It's about approaching life from a foundation of inner stability and peace, rather than constant reactivity and overwhelm. When you're grounded in the healing elements of the present moment, you can respond to life's challenges with wisdom, rather than react from anxiety and fear. The practice begins with learning to recognize when you're being invaded by toxic elements, and when you have the opportunity to connect with healing ones. Throughout your day, you can ask yourself, what am I feeding my mind and heart right now? Is this conversation, this media, this mental activity nourishing my peace or disturbing it? When you recognize that you're consuming something toxic to your inner environment, you can make a conscious choice to return to what heals. You can step outside and feel the sun on your face, listen to birds singing, look at flowers or trees. You can practice conscious breathing, return to your body, reconnect with the simple miracle of being alive. Even in urban environments, healing elements are available if you know how to look for them. A small plant on a windowsill carries the same life force as a vast forest. A patch of sky visible between buildings offers the same infinite spaciousness as an open prairie. The sound of rain on pavement can be as soothing as rain on leaves. The key is learning to receive these gifts consciously, rather than taking them for granted. When you see a flower, don't just glance at it and move on. Stop for a moment and really look at it. Notice its colors, its delicate structure, its perfect unfolding. Let yourself be amazed by the intelligence that knows how to create such beauty from simple earth and water and sunlight. When you feel sunlight on your skin, don't just accept it as a physical sensation. Recognize that you're receiving energy that has traveled millions of miles through space to warm and nourish you. Let yourself feel grateful for this cosmic gift that makes all life on Earth possible. This practice of deep contact with healing elements becomes a form of spiritual nutrition. Just as your body needs healthy food to function well, your mind and spirit need contact with beauty, peace, and natural harmony to remain balanced and clear. When you regularly feed yourself with these nourishing elements, you develop a natural immunity to the toxins of anger, fear, and despair. You also become a source of healing for others. When you're connected to the peace and beauty that surround you, you naturally radiate a quality of calm presence that others can feel. You become like a clear lake that reflects the sky. Others can see in you the possibility of their own peace and clarity. Children are especially sensitive to this kind of authentic presence, When you're truly connected to the healing elements around you, children often become calmer and more naturally joyful in your presence. You're modeling for them what it looks like to be genuinely nourished by life, rather than constantly stressed and depleted. The practice ripples outward in ways you may never fully see. When you choose to connect deeply with healing elements, rather than consume toxic ones, you're contributing to the healing of our collective human consciousness. You're voting for peace over violence, beauty over ugliness, love over fear. As our time together draws to a close, I invite you to look around your current environment and notice what healing elements are available to you right now. Perhaps it's the feeling of air moving in and out of your lungs, the warmth or coolness of the temperature on your skin, the sounds of life happening around you. Maybe it's the simple fact that you're safe enough to listen to these words, that you have the luxury of spending time in contemplation and self-care. Whatever healing elements you can recognize in this moment, allow yourself to make deep contact with them. Not just noticing them with your thinking mind, but opening your whole being to receive their gifts. Let them remind you that no matter what challenges you may be facing, the Garden of Eden is still available to you. The wonders of life are not waiting for you in some future moment when your problems are solved or your circumstances are perfect. They're here now, in this breath, in this heartbeat, in this moment of awareness. When you stop running long enough to recognize and receive them, you discover that you've been surrounded by miracles all along. This is your birthright as a conscious being, to live in constant contact with the healing, nourishing, beautiful elements of existence. This is what it means to dwell in the ultimate reality, to live in the kingdom of heaven, to find your home in the pure land of the present moment. It's not a special achievement reserved for saints and sages. It's the natural state of a human being who has learned to stop and truly arrive in their own life. May you carry this practice of recognition and deep contact with you into every day that follows. May you remember that healing is always available when you know how to look for it and how to receive it. And may your own peace and presence become a gift to all the lives you touch. As our time together comes to a gentle close, I want to leave you with the most important truth we've discovered on this journey. It is possible for you to live every moment of your daily life in such a way that every moment becomes a moment of healing. This isn't a beautiful ideal that's impossible to achieve. This is a practical reality that you can begin experiencing immediately, exactly where you are, with whatever circumstances you're facing right now. Every breath you take can have the power of healing when you breathe with conscious presence. Every step you make can bring you home to yourself when you walk with awareness. Every activity you engage in can become a meditation when you offer it your complete attention. The secret is so simple that your mind might want to dismiss it as too easy or too ordinary. But this is the profound wisdom that the Buddha discovered and that countless practitioners have verified through their own experience. The peace you're seeking, the healing you need, the sense of being truly at home in your own life. All of this is available when you stop running and surrender yourself completely to the present moment. You don't need to change your life circumstances before you can access this healing. You don't need to solve all your problems or become a different person or achieve some special spiritual state. You need only to remember what you've learned here today, how to arrive, how to stop, how to breathe with awareness, how to treat your body as a beloved friend, how to recognize the healing elements that surround you always. When you make a step tomorrow morning, you can make sure that step has the power of healing and relaxation. When you breathe in tomorrow afternoon, you can ensure that your in-breath carries the energy of stopping, of arriving, of coming home to yourself. When you lie down tomorrow night, you can practice total deep relaxation, allowing your body and mind to rest in the ultimate refuge of present moment awareness. This isn't about being perfect or remembering to practice every single moment. Some days you'll remember often, some days you'll forget completely, and both are part of the journey. The practice is not about constant vigilance, it's about gentle returning, again and again, to the peace that's always available when you stop running. Each time you choose presence over distraction, stopping over running, awareness over unconsciousness, you're not just healing yourself. You're contributing to the healing of our entire human family. When you embody peace, you make peace more possible for everyone around you. When you live from presence, you give others permission to remember their own capacity for awareness and calm. Your children, your partner, your friends, your colleagues, even strangers you pass on the street can feel when you're truly present, when you've stopped the inner running and arrived in your own life. This quality of authentic presence is becoming so rare in our world that when people encounter it, they're immediately drawn to it. You become like a lighthouse, offering others a glimpse of what's possible when you learn to be at home in yourself. The voice of the Buddha speaks not just from ancient texts, but from your own direct experience when you practice these teachings. When you breathe with healing awareness, when you walk with arriving presence, when you rest with complete surrender, you're hearing the voice of wisdom that comes from within your own being. This is not something foreign or exotic. This is your own deepest nature remembering itself. I want to thank you for taking this journey with me, for opening your heart to these ancient teachings, for being willing to explore what it means to truly stop and arrive in your own life. Whether you came here seeking better sleep, stress relief, healing from anxiety, or simply curious about Buddhist wisdom, you've discovered something far more precious, the doorway to living every moment from peace rather than struggle. You now have everything you need to continue this practice on your own. You know how to use the sacred gatha to arrive in any moment. I have arrived. I am home, in the here, in the now. I am solid. I am free. In the ultimate, I dwell. You understand how to practice with the 4 positions of daily life, how to scan your body with loving awareness, how to breathe as medicine for your heart and soul. Most importantly, you've tasted what it feels like to stop running and rest in the vast spaciousness of simply being alive. This taste will stay with you, calling you back whenever you remember it, reminding you that no matter how busy or stressful life becomes, this refuge of peace is always available. As you return to your daily life, carry with you the understanding that every moment offers you a choice. You can continue the old pattern of constant running, always on the way to somewhere else, always waiting for life to begin. Or you can choose the revolutionary path of presence, of stopping, of allowing yourself to finally arrive in the life you're actually living. The wonders of existence are not hiding from you. They're waiting patiently for you to slow down enough to notice them. The healing you seek is not in some distant future when everything is perfect. It's available right now in the simple miracle of conscious breathing. The home you long for is not a place you need to travel to. It's where you are when you truly arrive in the present moment. May every breath you take from this moment forward be a breath of healing. May every step you make be a step toward greater presence and peace. May every moment of your life become an opportunity to practice the profound art of being fully alive. Thank you for allowing me to walk this path with you. May you find your way home to yourself, again and again, in every precious moment that follows. And may your peace become a gift to our beautiful, struggling world. The journey continues now, one conscious breath at a time.